Chapter 2502. Underground Demon God 12. I should find a kennel to live in now, the big yellow dog said as it looked around. But Yi Qingtang scooped it up and left the place quickly with Blood Moon Elder. Holy lady, please slow down, I can't keep up. The Blood Moon Elder was already panting. His new body was nothing compared to his old one, and he was still very weak. Yi Qingtang grew impatient as she saw this. With that, she grabbed his arm and ran with him. Half an hour later, they arrived at an area deep in the forest. Even though she had no idea what ceremony the elders that the big yellow dog had spoken of were carrying out, they probably had no time to deal with them right now. So she was going to seize this opportunity to recover the connection she had with the deity ocean. The more she connected to the deity ocean, the more beneficial it was for her. If she were to meet with a dangerous situation, she could escape into the deity ocean quickly, and her life would temporarily be safe from danger. Did you realize that all the monsters from before are all gone? The big yellow dog wagged his tail as he told Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang thought about what the big yellow dog said and realized that it was true. The above emperor level monsters that had been in the Wailing Well were all nowhere to be found now. Perhaps we're lucky and just haven't run into them, Yi Qingtang said after some hesitation. I don't think so. The big yellow dog wagged his tail and continued. I still remember how they smell, but it's completely vanished now. Actually, it's more accurate to say that it has now concentrated into one area, and seems to be growing stronger rapidly. You're telling me that those monsters are becoming some sort of nourishment? Yi Qingtang said with a frown. The big yellow dog didn't refute this. It seemed to be the case. Above emperor level monsters, the Blood Moon Elder said with a dark expression. He had just been revived. Couldn't they let him live for just 2 more days? His heart couldn't take such a shock. The elder that the big yellow dog was talking about previously had spoken about reviving someone important. That person was probably in the Wailing Well, and the dead people as well as the terrifyingly scary above emperor level monster were likely all nourishment for that important person. Yi Qingtang had an ominous feeling in her heart. Who is this person? Holy lady, we have to find a way to leave this place. I feel like we will die if we continue staying here. The Blood Moon Elder was worrying at the side. Was he about to die when he had just been revived? He didn't want to die just like that. At least in the first domain, he died heroically. But this time he was going to die before even understanding the situation. At that moment, Yi Qingtang glanced at Blood Moon Elder. If she was able to leave, she would have already. Why would she still be here? If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Don't worry, I'm here. After a long while, Yi Qingtang said slowly. Just as she said that, sounds of rumbling could be heard from the distant mountains. The ground started shaking after a while as well. Chapter 2503. Underground Demon God 13. The giant trees around them were starting to collapse, and the rumbling of the ground around them was getting worse. Holy lady, what's happening? The Blood Moon Elder was extremely surprised. The shaking was too great. But more than that, the Blood Moon Elder could feel a terrible and great power slowly recovering, and with it brought a heavy sense of oppression, as though a real demon god was rising. The Blood Moon Elder was soaked in a cold sweat. Under the oppressive power, he was breathless and extremely pale. It wasn't just him. Yi Qingtang was feeling the discomfort rise from within her, as cold sweat started to beat her forehead. Whether it was in this life or her previous one, this was the first time she had felt such a terrifying aura. Under this aura, she was unable to muster even an ounce of resistance, and even wanted to kneel and worship it. Is this an illusion? The Blood Moon Elder looked terrified. He couldn't fathom how such an unbelievably great power could exist. Who was the owner of this aura? Even Yi Qingtang was starting to suspect that this wasn't just an illusion. This aura was way too terrifying. The above emperor level monsters were mere ants compared to this giant. We're done for, we're done for, we're done for. We are thoroughly done for this time. I really didn't expect to die so quickly after being brought back to life. How frustrating. The Blood Moon Elder slapped his leg in annoyance. He was feeling a little aggrieved about his revival. He seemed to think of something as he said that, and his gaze quickly landed on the big yellow dog. Brother Canine, do you have any way of dealing with the owner of this aura? The big yellow dog wagged his tail after hearing that and said, if this was the past, I would have killed it in just one bite. The Blood Moon Elder stared at the big yellow dog in awe and gave it a thumbs up. Brother Canine, you're amazing. I can't even describe my admiration for you. What about now? Now? The big yellow dog pondered for a moment before finally speaking. Now, can't you see that I'm just a dog? I don't think you're expecting a dog to do anything? Hearing that, the Blood Moon Elder stared at the big yellow dog blankly. What did it mean? It used to be able to kill it with just one bite, but now it was just a dog. Hadn't it always been a dog? Boom! Without waiting for the Blood Moon Elder to say another word, the ground shook as the hills and rivers split apart. The sound was so loud that it made one's ears throb in pain. Run! Yi Qingtang had no time to think any further. She grabbed the big yellow dog and the Blood Moon Elder and quickly sprinted out of there. Boom! Standing on the barren land, they noticed a huge hole within the Wailing Well. In front of their naked eyes, a huge arm burst forth from the ground and pierced the sky. It was surrounded by green tendons and was grabbing at the sky blindly. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website, my thanks. It happened to grab an elder near the altar. The elder was nothing in the palm of its hand. No matter how hard he struggled, he wasn't able to break free and was trapped in it like a rabbit in a cage. Chapter 2504. Underground Demon God 14. The elder's expression changed at once. He knew that this lord had just been awoken, and the actions were likely subconscious. But why was he so unlucky? Lord, my lord, us lowly elders were tasked with reviving you. Please have mercy. Realizing that there was no escape, the elder started shouting at the top of his lungs in despair. But it was only one arm piercing through the ground, so how could it possibly hear anything? Without giving the old man any more chances to speak, the giant hand slowly clenched. In an instant, the old man was crushed into a pool of blood that oozed out of its fingers. The situation made the elders above the void frown. A few elders quickly retreated, afraid of being caught by the grasping hands. Swoosh! At the same time, a huge hand grabbed at Yi Qingtang and the others like a lively python. Oh my god! Seeing this, the Blood Moon Elder was stunned. What was this demon? It was too terrifying. The elder from before was just slightly stronger than the Holy Lady by about 1 level. But the demon palm had crushed in so effortlessly in an instant. If that elder couldn't even resist, and was as weak as a little kid in front of the demon, there was no way the Holy Lady, and he would be able to survive. Holy Lady, please run. I will hold this beast back. The Blood Moon Elder said hurriedly as he turned to look at Yi Qingtang. A deep frown was on her face. Even though the demon palm was moving extremely quickly, there was still some distance between them. She knew what would happen if they were to be wrapped in the demon's palm. Like the elder before them, there was no way they would survive. It was attacking its own people, let alone her. The Blood Moon Elder and a dog. She took a deep breath, and a dark look filled her eyes. She didn't want to die in this godforsaken place. Seeing the demon palm approaching quicker and quicker, Yi Qingtang's face darkened. After pondering for a moment, she concluded that there was no way to deal with the demon palm. She could only make contact with the deity ocean within her again, and enter the deity ocean space. She was feeling extremely helpless. She had never imagined that she would have to enter the deity ocean space again, just after leaving it. But she had no choice if she wanted to live. After all, the demon palm was too terrifying, and this was her only option. Holy Lady, please run! The Blood Moon Elder shouted as he saw her standing still without moving. Did she not see how terrifying the demon palm was? If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website, my thanks. Yi Qingtang looked at Blood Moon Elder and took a deep breath. Grabbing the big yellow dog with both hands, she placed her left hand on the Blood Moon Elder's shoulder. You're always carrying me like this. It's so embarrassing for me, the big yellow dog said unhappily. Yi Qingtang had no intention of arguing with it at such a time. It would be great if they could get out of this place alive. Who cares whether it was embarrassing? She quickly contacted the deity ocean within herself and prepared to enter the space. Holy, do you plan on having all of us die here? The Blood Moon Elder couldn't understand what she was doing. Die together? No thank you, put me down first. We can talk things out. It's fine if you die, but I'm just a dog. Please don't bring me along with you. There's still hope for me, the big yellow dog quickly said. Chapter 2505. Divine Concealment Reappears 1. What are you muttering about? Are you done? Every time she tried to make contact with the deity ocean, there would be this dog in person interrupting her, which was making her impatient. Seeing that she was getting irritated, the big yellow dog and the Blood Moon Elder looked at each other. Even though they wanted to say more, they decided to shut their mouths in the end. Seeing that the big yellow dog and the Blood Moon Elder were finally not running their mouths anymore, Yi Qingtang shut her eyes and concentrated hard on making contact with the deity ocean. It's coming, it's coming. In the time span of a few breaths, the Blood Moon Elder noticed that the demon palm was only a few hundred meters away from them. They would be trapped in just one more breath. As soon as the words were out of the Blood Moon Elder's mouth, Yi Qingtang opened her eyes, and a clear cold light shone from them. How? She was shocked. She had clearly made contact with the deity ocean, but why was she still in the Wailing Well, and not within the deity ocean space? How was this possible? There was no time for her to think. The demon palm was already in front of her. There would be no time to make contact with the deity ocean again. But just as she thought that their lives were over, the demon palm paused right in front of their very eyes, as though it had lost its target. It started swinging back and forth, as though searching for something. Confusion filled the Blood Moon Elder's face. What was happening to the demon palm? Was it showing mercy and letting them go? But how was that possible? Could it be? Yi Qingtang pondered. She knew that the deity ocean within her body had two kinds of power. The first was that whenever she made contact with it, she could enter the deity ocean space. The second ability had almost already been forgotten by her, but it still existed. The Divine Concealment spell. It allowed them to completely conceal their aura, as well as their bodies. But this power had only revealed itself once before, and had never worked about after that. The sudden appearance of this spell surprised her. She had already expected to enter the deity ocean space, as long as she contacted it, and had completely forgotten that it had the power to conceal as well. Holy Lady, why has the demon palm stopped? The Blood Moon Elder looked at her in confusion. This is the Divine Concealment spell, the big yellow dog said. Divine Concealment spell? What does that mean? The Blood Moon Elder said as he regained his senses. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website, my thanks. It means that we are concealed and no one can see us, the big yellow dog explained. Concealed? The Blood Moon Elder found this hard to believe, and looked down at himself. That's not true. I can still see myself. I can see you and the Holy Lady as well. The big yellow dog threw a glance at him and said, I don't feel like speaking to you, please shut up. Yi Qingtang ignored both of them and was in deep thought. She knew that she could bring people into the deity ocean space, but didn't think that she would be able to use the Divine Concealment spell on the people around her as well. She seemed to be thinking of something as she looked at the Blood Moon Elder. Her eyes swiveled to her hand on him, and quickly darted away again. In the next second, the Holy Lady and big yellow dog standing in front of the Blood Moon Elder vanished, leaving only himself. Chapter 2506. Divine Concealment Reappears 2. Before the Blood Moon Elder even had time to react, the demon palm which had lost its target seemed to find a new one, and it shot towards the Blood Moon Elder. The Blood Moon Elder's mind went blank as he saw this, and he forgot to hide. He suddenly felt someone pat his shoulders lightly. The Holy Lady and big yellow dog quickly reappeared in front of him. Not only that, the demon palm which was targeting him again stopped as well. Holy Lady, what's happening? The Blood Moon Elder was deathly pale. He had almost been frightened to death. Yi Qingtang looked at Blood Moon Elder deep in thought. She had just been testing something out. She was wondering why she could bring the Blood Moon Elder and the big yellow dog into the divine concealment spell. But now she understood. The Blood Moon Elder and big yellow dog could hide their presence as well, because she was touching them while under the spell. It was exactly the same as how she could bring people into the deity ocean space, as long as she was touching them. But she still had no idea how to decide whether to enter the deity ocean space or use the divine concealment spell when she was making contact with the deity ocean. She didn't know if there were other powers in the deity ocean other than the deity ocean space and divine concealment spell. At that moment, the distance between the Demon Palm and Yi Qingtang's crew was extremely close, but it was unable to lock onto them, which made the Blood Moon Elder breathe a sigh of relief. Your deity ocean is pretty good, the big yellow dog who was laying in Yi Qingtang's arms suddenly said. Visit Rietal, me for extra chapters. Hearing it say that, she looked at it. She had no idea where the big yellow dog came from, but it had impressed her. It was able to immediately understand the divine concealment spell, as well as its origin. Deity ocean? What deity ocean? Holy lady, you possess the deity ocean? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in shock. The deity ocean was not something that anyone could create. It was common knowledge that only those with great power could create it, and create another space along with it. Even though his holy lady was extremely powerful, to be able to create a deity ocean, and even one that was inside of her, this was too surprising. Yi Qingtang was already used to the big yellow dog knowing everything. As for the Blood Moon Elder, since he was no outsider, she quickly explained the situation around the deity ocean. So this means the demon space that we were in previously, that was in the holy lattice body. The Blood Moon Elder's expression suddenly changed and he said, Holy lady, but if that's the case, the thousands of demons in the space should worship you as a god. You can rule over all the demons and powerful beings in the deity ocean. Hearing his words, the edges of Yi Qingtang's mouth twitched. Of course she knew that. The problem was that she still didn't know how to control the deity ocean. If she could control it fully, wouldn't she already be able to rule over all the creatures in it and be invincible? Of course, she wanted this as well, but the reality was more difficult. Furthermore, they should put aside any questions about the deity ocean now and focus on their next move. Chapter 2507. Divine Concealment reappears. 3. Yi Qingtang could feel the power of the divine concealment spell slowly fading, probably due to the issue of her making contact with the deity ocean. Even though it wasn't fading fast, the spell was going to fade soon if she continued concealing the big yellow dog, as well as the Blood Moon Elder. If that happened, there was only death waiting for them. Of course, she had no idea if the Demon Palm would even kill a dog, but she knew that the big yellow dog would not be able to deal with the Demon Palm. Moreover, the entity underground had yet to show itself. Just its hand had managed to demonstrate such terrible might, even forcing Yi Qingtang to use the deity ocean. This was enough to show how powerful it was. Holy lady, is the hand unable to see us now? The Blood Moon Elder said as he looked at her. Hearing that, the big yellow dog threw him a look and said, Does that hand look like it has eyes? Even without the divine concealment spell, it wouldn't be able to see us. It exists underground, and is using our aura to find us. So this means that not only do we have to hide ourselves, we have to conceal our auras as well. The Blood Moon Elder said in surprise. How is it possible to have powers that could even conceal one's aura in this world? Wouldn't that make the person invincible? If someone was able to completely hide their presence and aura, wouldn't this mean that they would be completely invincible? They could escape easily and never be assassinated as well. The big yellow dog nodded slightly and said, You can see it that way, but the reality is different. There exists the perfect concealment spell, but not someone who can control it perfectly. Just like what the big yellow dog had said, the divine concealment spell was perfect, but the prerequisite to executing it perfectly was that the user had to be flawless. Up till the present day, there were only 3 people who had been able to use it perfectly. But even these 3 had not been able to achieve a state of invincibility. To be truly invincible required great power. How would anyone dare to declare themselves invincible just because of the concealment spell. The divine concealment spell was only an adjunct. How long can you hold on for? The big yellow dog asked Yi Qingtang. Hearing that, she shook her head and said, I'm not sure, but not for too long. As soon as she had used up the power of the deity ocean, the divine concealment spell would vanish as well. Holy Lady, the demon palm seems to know where we are. The Blood Moon Elder saw that the demon palm showed no intentions of distraction, and quickly told Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang could see this clearly even without a reminder from him. She had not even mastered the divine concealment spell properly. Furthermore, the entity hiding underground was no ordinary person. To escape it completely was impossible. The entity could sense where they were but couldn't pinpoint their exact location and capture them. So they were safe for now. So those two were able to completely conceal their aura. In the space above them, the elder holding the gold book seemed to be in deep thought. Haha, our Lord seems to have fully awoken and seems to have taken an interest in the two of them. Another elder said with a laugh. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Chapter 2508. Divine Concealment reappears 4. Although Yi Qingtang entered the divine concealment state, she was still extremely cautious. The power of the deity ocean was not inexhaustible. If the power was exhausted, the divine concealment spell would disappear as well. There was no need to think about the consequences. However, Yi Qingtang could not understand why the main body of the owner of the demon palm was still underground and did not appear yet, and why it refused to leave her alone. There was no deep grudge between them, and they had never even met before. Moreover, this great underground being had already been successfully revived by those elders. This meant that there was already enough nourishment, so there was no need to continue killing. As such, Yi Qingtang could only think of one reason. The mysterious underground being was probably an extremely bloodthirsty person when he was alive. Yi Qingtang had seen many bloodthirsty people in her previous life. They did not need any reason to take your life. Very quickly, Yi Qingtang retreated with the Blood Moon Elder and the big yellow dog in her divine concealment state. However, when Yi Qingtang retreated, not only did the demon palm not follow her, it quickly retreated. In the next second, the ground began to shake violently once again. It was as if doomsday had arrived, and a thunderous boom echoed across the sky. Holy Lady, look! The Blood Moon Elder pointed ahead in shock. There was no need for the Blood Moon Elder to point it out. Yi Qingtang already saw the huge head breaking out of the ground. Following that, towering shoulders were revealed. The upper half of the body was like the sky, indomitable, and the lower half was like a pillar supporting the sky. Compared to this, Yi Qingtang and the rest were like insignificant ants. This is a demon god? Blood Moon Elder stared at the majestic huge creature in front of him and lost his focus for a moment. Just the sight alone was extremely shocking to his heart. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder did not know what those elders resurrected. But regardless, the aura and pressure of this demon godlike existence was enough to suffocate them. Great Lord! Up in the air, several elders were extremely excited when they saw that the demon god below had been completely resurrected. Their efforts had not been in vain. They had finally completed their mission and allowed their great lord to revive from the underground of the Wailing Well. That demon god's eyes were suffused with a cold light, like the flames of the apocalypse. No one dared to look straight at it. The demon godlike existence merely sized up the group of old men before looking away, as if he was deep in thought. After a long time, the body of the demon god shrank rapidly, as though it was growing backward. In about a dozen breaths' time, the demon god's body had shrunk to about 10 feet. Even so, it was still incomparably large. Ordinary people could not compare to it. Holy Lady, what exactly is that? This is too scary. I have never seen such a scary thing in my life. The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang was feeling somewhat exasperated. How would she know what it was? But it did not look like any ordinary being. This group of elders had probably revived some incredible big shot. Although the demon god's aura was extremely terrifying, his body seemed to be in a very weak state, as he had just revived and had not reached his peak. Even so, it was obvious that it could kill Yi Qingtang and the rest as easily as if it was crushing an ant. Chapter 2509. Divine Concealment reappears 5. Yi Qingtang would not be able to deal with any of the elders, let alone the demon god with fiery eyes. At that moment, the demon god's eyes turned towards Yi Qingtang and her group. The Blood Moon Elder shuddered. "Holy Lady, that monster can't see us, right? Aren't we invisible now? It may or may not have seen us." The big yellow dog hid in Yi Qingtang's arms and wagged its tail. "That fellow's skills are not bad. In addition, this little girl is not that proficient in the divine concealment spell. It is very normal for an expert to be able to see through us. What should we do then?" The Blood Moon Elder panicked when he heard what the big yellow dog said. He did not want to have a face-to-face conversation with that monster. Leave it up to fate. I think someone like him would not stoop to slaughtering a dog. The yellow dog seemed to be lost in thought. "Brother Canine, you can't think of it that way. Look at that monster. One look, and you can tell he's no angel. He's definitely bloodthirsty. He definitely won't let anybody off. Brother Canine, we are in dire straits. Please reveal yourself and converse with him expert to expert." The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog anxiously. In the Blood Moon Elder's opinion, this was a dog that had killed an above Emperor-level monster in one strike. It was definitely someone worthy enough to engage that monster as an equal. "I'm not going." The big yellow dog instinctively shrank back. "What's the hurry?" Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Weren't they still alive? Furthermore, they were still in their divine concealment state, and had not been completely exposed. So what if that demon god knew of their existence? If he could not see them, he would not be able to do anything. Yi Qingtang did not believe that the demon god, as powerful as he was, could actually destroy them through space. "Holy Lady, can I ask you something?" The Blood Moon Elder asked. "Speak." Yi Qingtang said. "Do you have some sort of grudge with that monster?" Yi Qingtang felt her head ache. What grudge? She did not even know him, and had never even met him. "No. This is also my first time seeing him," Yi Qingtang replied honestly. After hearing what Yi Qingtang said, the Blood Moon Elder nodded and smiled. "Holy Lady, look, here's what I think. We have no grudge against that monster. We don't know him, and have never offended him. There might be some misunderstanding. How about this? Let us ask Brother Canine to talk to him, and clear things up." The big yellow dog in Yi Qingtang's arms immediately glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. "Can you still call yourself a man?" At that moment, Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. To a certain extent, what the Blood Moon Elder said made sense. They did not know each other. The demon god had already been resurrected, and no longer needed nourishment. Let alone, there was no deep grudge between them, so there was no need for him to capture them. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Why are you looking at me? Let me tell you, even if you stare until your eyes pop out, I will not talk to that damn thing. I say, have you guys not figured out the situation? I'm just a dog. Is it really appropriate for you two humans to push the burden to a dog? The big yellow dog said hastily when it saw Yi Qingtang staring at it. Chapter 2510. Great Lord arrives 1. The Blood Moon Elder and Yi Qingtang exchanged glances, and the Blood Moon Elder stared at the big yellow dog. "Brother Canine, in my heart, you are never just a dog. You are a powerful practitioner. It is most suitable for you to step up. Get lost." The yellow dog wagged its tail and glared at Blood Moon Elder. Although its skin was thick and it could not be beaten to death, it would still feel pain. Who or what in the world would seek out pain for no reason? The big yellow dog was no exception. Before the Blood Moon Elder could say anything, the figure in the distance turned into a ray of light. An all-encompassing aura surrounded him, and he appeared beside Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder. Yi Qingtang's heart leaped up into her throat. The man had discovered their presence and knew their precise position. It was also at this moment that Yi Qingtang finally saw the man's face clearly. Long, jet black hair flowed loosely behind his back. His face was so handsome that it seemed like it did not belong to the mortal world. His eyes did not bear any human emotions, and a single glance was enough to make one feel like you were falling into an ice cave. It had to be said that this man's looks and figure were truly impeccable. At this moment, the man looked around and remained rooted to the ground. Cold sweat seeped out of the Blood Moon Elder's forehead, and he held his breath, not daring to breathe. Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. It seemed that her previous guess was correct. Although this man could roughly grasp their location, he could not capture them. As long as the divine concealment spell remained, the man could not do anything to them, unless he could kill them through space. Seeing that the man did not move at all for a long time, the Blood Moon Elder finally felt relieved. Holy Lady, this guy can't see us. Haha, there's nothing to be afraid of. The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang and smiled. However, just as the Blood Moon Elder finished his sentence, a frighteningly cold glint flashed across the man's eyes. Subsequently, a fist shrouded in a black sheen shot towards Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder. Just the draft from that punch was enough to suffocate Yi Qingtang and Blood Moon Elder. Their skin felt as though they had been struck by lightning. Almost instinctively, Yi Qingtang grabbed the Blood Moon Elder and rolled on the ground. A loud boom resounded throughout the entire venue. Following that, the sound of glass shattering could be heard. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder saw that the space where they were previously standing was shattered like a mirror by the man's punch, forming a fist-sized black hole. Yi Qingtang's forehead was dripping with sweat. This monster could really kill them through space. Yi Qingtang glared at the Blood Moon Elder. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Was this guy an idiot? Although they had the divine concealment spell, and others could not see them with their naked eyes, it did not mean that the spell could block their voices. The man was only a few meters away from them just now, and the Blood Moon Elder was just chattering away. Was he trying to let the man know their exact location? When the Blood Moon Elder was in the first domain back then, he was a terrifying existence. Although he was not that intelligent, he was still considered quite shrewd. What was going on with him now? Why was he starting to reveal his stupidity at such a critical moment? Chapter 25:11. Great Lord arrives, too. If she did not know the Blood Moon Elder well enough, Yi Qingtang would have suspected that the Blood Moon Elder was a spy planted by someone beside her. Holy! The Blood Moon Elder crawled to his feet and looked at Yi Qingtang. He was about to say something when Yi Qingtang glared at him fiercely. Seeming to have realized, the Blood Moon Elder's mouth snapped shut again. He did not dare to say another word. It was probably because of him that the man had accurately found his position and attacked them. Fortunately, the Holy Lady reacted quickly. Otherwise, they would have been killed by the man's punch. Right now, the man was surveying the surroundings impassively. Without sound to direct him, he could only sense that there were people nearby, but he could not detect their exact location. The man glanced up at the sky. Soon, an elder holding the golden book descended and stood beside the man. Great Lord! The old man holding the golden book knelt at the man's feet. His expression was pious and reverent, as if he was in the presence of his God. Divine concealment spell. After a long while, the man spoke in a hoarse voice. Yi Qingtang was surprised. This man knew about the divine concealment spell? Origins. The man looked down at the old man with the golden book, as if he was looking at an ant. Great Lord, they should be from some academy. We don't know their exact origins yet. We need to investigate further, the golden book elder said respectfully. The man fell into deep thought and looked towards where Yi Qingtang was standing. Finally, the man's lips curled into a devilish smile. If it was any other time, a man with such an appearance would be extremely good-looking with such a smile. However, Yi Qingtang felt a chill run down her spine. It was as though there was an unparalleled aura that froze her in place, and she could not escape. In the next second, the man looked away as though he had completely given up on killing Yi Qingtang and the rest. The man's gaze was extremely profound as he looked into the distance. His jet-black hair flowed with the wind, making him look like a peerless demon god standing between heaven and earth. he uttered slowly in his hoarse voice. I am back. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website, my thanks. The man then slowly walked forward. Boom! Boom! With every step the man took, the ground beneath his feet crumbled into nothing. The ground split open and spread in all directions like countless snakes. Yi Qingtang could not help but gasp at this scene. Just one step was enough to cause the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. What kind of insane power was this? Who could tell her what kind of monster she had inadvertently provoked? Yi Qingtang wanted to cry, but no tears came. What could she even do? Could it be that she offended that man just because she resisted becoming his nourishment? The scariest thing was that this man had just woken up and was still in an extremely weak state. Yet, he was already so terrifying. If he was at his peak, Yi Qingtang did not even dare to think about it. The elders approached the man. Let's go. The man's hoarse voice rang out. Following this, the man casually threw a punch and shattered the void beside him with a loud bang. In the next second, the man stepped into the broken void. The elders looked at each other before following the man and disappearing. Chapter 25:12. Return 1. Yi Qingtang finally heaved a sigh of relief when she saw the man enter the void and leave. It had to be said that that man was indeed terrifyingly powerful. A single punch could shatter the void. It was not a good thing at all to be targeted by someone like that. Of course, Yi Qingtang knew that the man was not interested in her, but more interested in the divine concealment spell she used. But no matter what, this was not something for Yi Qingtang to shout for joy over. Holy Lady, has that monster gone far enough? The Blood Moon Elder only dared to speak after a long time. Wait a while longer, Yi Qingtang said softly. To be safe, it was best not to reveal themselves at this moment. If they came back with a surprise attack, it would be disastrous. Yi Qingtang did not stay there either. After bringing the Blood Moon Elder and the big yellow dog far away, she only released the spell after most of her deity ocean was depleted. We are safe now, Yi Qingtang murmured. By now, the Wailing Well had fallen into a dead silence. There were no more above Emperor-level monsters or other life forms. Only Yi Qingtang, the Blood Moon Elder, and a dog were left in the huge Wailing Well. Holy Lady, what should we do now? We can't stay here forever, right? The Blood Moon Elder looked to Yi Qingtang for complete guidance and support. Yi Qingtang fell into deep thought. The previous exit had already been closed, but with the departure of those elders, logically speaking, the seal on the exit should have been completely removed. If the seal was not removed, they could only leave through the void hole made by that man earlier. However, Yi Qingtang did not want to do that. Firstly, they did not know where that void hole led to, and it would be very easy to bump into that man. Yi Qingtang did not have much deity ocean power left. It would be difficult for her to escape again. After another hour or so, Yi Qingtang brought the Blood Moon Elder and the yellow dog towards the ice ocean. That was the only exit. Holy Lady, the seal on the exit seems to have been lifted. The Blood Moon Elder pointed ahead and was overjoyed. Ha ha ha. I never expected that I would see the light of day again. This is great. I'm going out to take revenge. I'll let those bastards know that they can't bully a dog just like that. The yellow dog bared its teeth eagerly. Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog strangely. This dog actually had enemies. However, no one knew how long the big yellow dog had been asleep. Perhaps its enemies had already died of old age. If so, who was it going to seek revenge on? Holy Lady, let's leave this ominous land quickly. The Blood Moon Elder urged impatiently when he saw that Yi Qingtang was not moving. Let's go. Yi Qingtang nodded slightly. She did not want to stay in the Wailing Well any longer either. Actually, it was not that she did not gain anything from this trip to the Wailing Well. At the very least, if she had not come here, the Blood Moon Elder would not have revived so easily. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website, my thanks. Of course, apart from that, Yi Qingtang also picked up something bad. She was now being targeted by a powerful monster for no reason. This was truly bad karma. Taking in a deep breath, Yi Qingtang calmed herself down before walking towards the exit. Closely behind her, the yellow dog and the Blood Moon Elder followed Yi Qingtang in hurried steps. Chapter 25:13. Return 2. By the time Yi Qingtang returned to her senses, she had already left the Wailing Well and returned to a city. This was Universe City. It was still a distance away from the entrance of the Wailing Well, which Yi Qingtang had entered previously. Perhaps it was because that man broke through the void and shifted the position of the space. Holy Lady, where are we? The Blood Moon Elder looked around and asked Yi Qingtang. Given that he had just been revived, he didn't know much about the outside world, especially the second domain. There were too many continents, and every single one of them was different. Yi Qingtang gave a rough explanation to the Blood Moon Elder, so that he would know what to do. I didn't expect that I would see the light of day again. The big yellow dog was excited, wagging its tail rapidly as it sized up the surroundings. However, as soon as the big yellow dog finished speaking, it quickly fell silent. This place, something about it felt not quite right. Wait, isn't this? The yellow dog had a strange expression as it sniffed the air. What's wrong, Brother Canine? Is there anything wrong? The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog in confusion. Why is it like this? The big yellow dog ignored the Blood Moon Elder and fell into deep thought. It muttered to itself, "No wonder my powers dissipated lower realm. Boss!" A shout came from afar. Yi Qingtang turned around and saw Qin Feng, Mu Ziying and the rest, as well as the various vice presidents of the academies, walking towards them. "Boss, this is great." Mu Ziying fell into Yi Qingtang's arms with an anxious expression. "I'm fine." Yi Qingtang smiled and patted Mu Ziying's shoulder. "Boss," Lei Yin said with a grin, "you told us to come out first while you stayed in the Wailing Well. We waited for you for a long time, but you never came out. You scared us to death." It must be said that Qin Feng, Nangong Lai and the rest were rather excited to see Yi Qing. Initially, they thought that something bad happened to Yi Qing in the Wailing Well, and were extremely worried. He had stayed inside for such a long time. How could they not be anxious? "Teacher Yi, it's good that you came back alive. When are you free? Let's have a drink together." Lu Yuanxiang walked up with a smile and patted Yi Qingtang's left shoulder. "Yi Qingtang, it's all thanks to Teacher Yi. Otherwise, none of us would be able to leave the Wailing Well alive. Thank you, Teacher Yi." The Flying Star Academy teacher cupped his fists at Yi Qingtang. "Teacher Yi, you sent them away and stayed in the Wailing Well alone. Did something happen? Can you explain the situation?" A white-haired elder walked forward with a walking stick and said to Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang looked at the elder and felt that he looked familiar. However, she was slightly stunned when she thought about it. The ambassador of the Second Domain Academy Alliance. Yi Qingtang contemplated inwardly. The Academy Alliance held an important position in the Second Domain. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang was fortunate enough to participate in a conference by the Academy Alliance. That was where she met this old man. The Academy Alliance included all the academies in the entire Second Domain, and was not biased toward any continent. It was a very powerful establishment. Yi Qingtang did not expect that the incident at the Wailing Well would alarm the people of the Academy Alliance. Chapter 25:14. Not a god, but an immortal, 1. Yi Qingtang did not intend to hide what had happened in the Wailing Well from the Academy Alliance Elder. In fact, the Academy Alliance Elder had already learned everything about the Wailing Well from the Flying Star Academy teacher and Lu Yuanxiang. However, he had no idea what happened after they left. "Teacher Yi, are you saying that a certain mysterious figure was resurrected in the Wailing Well?" The elder leaned on his walking stick and looked at Yi Qingtang thoughtfully. Yi Qingtang nodded. "That's right. Teacher Yi, can you tell me the details?" the elder asked. "Sure." Yi Qingtang organized her thoughts before telling the elder everything she saw and heard in the Wailing Well, including the approximate abilities of the resurrected person. After hearing Yi Qingtang's narration, the elder fell into silence, as though he was searching for something in his mind. After a long time, the elder said, "All right. I roughly understand. How about this? I'll record down what happened here and report it to our alliance headquarters. All of you don't have to be too worried about anything. Senior, how should we explain the nature of this matter? The people of Universe City have all disappeared, and the students of our academy have suffered heavy losses. If we don't do anything about it, we won't be able to account for the situation." One of the vice presidents said to the elder. The old man replied, "At this stage, I can't offer an explanation. As for how to deal with it, it has to be decided by our headquarters. As for the people of Universe City, the academies can continue searching for them." After saying that, the elder turned around and disappeared into the void. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared without a trace. After the elder left, Wen Qi looked at Yi Qingtang with a smile. "Yi Qing, it's been hard on you this whole time. Without you, the consequences would be unimaginable." Yi Qingtang did not say much. Things had gone as bad as they could get. Most of them had died in the Wailing Well. She did not have the ability to prevent all of it from happening. It was already the best outcome for Yi Qingtang that she and a few students survived. Vice President, Boss is truly too formidable. If it wasn't for Boss utilizing the space technique to bring us out of the palace, we would surely have ended up dead by now. Lei Yin spoke up hastily. When Lei Yin mentioned the space technique, the eyes of the vice presidents flickered slightly and looked towards Yi Qingtang. When Lu Yuanxiang, the Flying Star Academy teacher, and the rest came out, they had already asked whether Yi Qing really used the space technique. Visit Rietal, me for extra chapters. Lu Yuanxiang and the others naturally gave an affirmative answer. If Yi Qing did not know the space technique, how else could he explain his escape from the above Emperor-level monster previously? He might be suspected of conspiring with Universe City. Keeping that in mind, everyone decided to tell the truth. Of course, if it was just Lu Yuanxiang alone, it might be hard to believe. But everyone said the same thing, including the Flying Star Academy teacher and the few students who survived. At this point, no matter how unacceptable it was, they could only accept it. Haha, I really did not expect this. Teacher Yi is truly unfathomable. The vice principal of Sky Martial Academy looked at Yi Qingtang and smiled. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25:15. Not a god but an immortal too. You speak the truth. With Teacher Yi's abilities, just being a teacher is too wasteful. I wonder if Teacher Yi has any thoughts on this. Our Sky Martial Academy has 2 vice president positions, and one of them is still available. The vice president of the Sky Martial Academy said with a smile. As soon as the Sky Martial Academy vice president said that, the other vice presidents immediately surrounded them. Everyone had witnessed Yi Qing's abilities. Whether it was his ability to teach students or his own powers, he was a rare talent. With Yi Qing's abilities, it was more than enough for him to be the vice president of any one of the academies. One could even tell by the way the Academy Alliance elder spoke earlier that he held Yi Qing in high regard. If Yi Qing was willing, they would try to poach him at all costs. Everyone, what is the meaning of this? Do you treat me as dead? When she looked very angry, the vice presidents of the other academies were trying to poach his staff right in front of him. This was simply outrageous. Haha, Vice President Wen, you can't put it that way. Teacher Yi did not sell himself to your school. So whoever offers the highest price will get priority, right? One of the vice presidents smiled at Wen Qi. Thank you all for your kind intentions. However, I have no intention of changing my position for now. Yi Qingtang smiled at everyone before Wen Qi could retort. The vice president's expression shifted at his words. Wen Qi smiled and said, "All right, there's no issue of price anymore. Everyone, please return and make the best use of your time to find those people from Universe City. That should be the most important matter at hand." There was not a single soul left in Universe City. All the major academies had returned, and Wen Qi and his group had also immediately set off and returned to their academy. Yi Qing, what is your friend planning to do? If he has no plans, he can be a teacher in the academy. How about that? Wen Qi asked Yi Qing on the way back. Naturally, Wen Qi had heard that Yi Qing had resurrected the Blood Moon Elder. In Wen Qi's opinion, any friend of Yi Qing should be good enough to be a teacher. Vice President, I think there's no need for that. My friend and I still have some private matters to settle. Yi Qingtang smiled at Wen Qi. Wen Qi was taken aback by Yi Qing's words. Yi Qing, do you mean that you won't be going back to the academy first? Yi Qingtang nodded. Yes. I will leave with my friend when we reach the next resting point. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Wen Qi pondered for a moment and finally nodded. Alright, your friend's situation is quite special. How about this? After I return to the academy, I'll help you apply for a leave of absence from the president. We will wait for you and your friend's return after you settle your business. Thank you, Vice President. Yi Qingtang smiled. She did feel some reluctance to part with them, but this was a step that had to be taken. After all, Yi Qingtang could not stay in the academy permanently, as she had more important things to do. At the next resting stop, Yi Qingtang waved goodbye to everyone. Boss, when are you coming back? Nan Gonglai looked at Yi Qing with obvious reluctance. That's right, boss. What are we going to do if you're not in the academy? Lei Yin joined in anxiously. They were already used to having Yi Qing by their side. If Yi Qing was not around, they did not know what to do. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25:16. Not a god but an immortal 3. Boss, you wouldn't not come back, right? Yunshin asked. Boss, I'll go with you wherever you go. Mu Ziying did not want Yi Qing to leave. Qin Feng stood aside and looked at Yi Qing without saying anything. Stay in the academy obediently. I'll come back after I'm done, Yi Qingtang said to her students. Boss is leaving because he has something to do. Moreover, Boss already said that he'll return once he's done. Qin Feng finally spoke. Yi Qingtang smiled and looked at Qin Feng. When I am not around, you will be their leader. Qin Feng, protect your junior brothers and sisters well. Qin Feng quietly clenched his fists as he spoke with a firm gaze. Boss, I will. Before long, Yi Qingtang bid farewell to everyone. She only looked away when she saw everyone had left. Holy lady, what's going on? Why didn't you follow them to the academy? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in confusion. After all, it was an academy in the second domain, much higher in status than those in the first domain. It was a rare opportunity for the vice president to let him be a teacher there. Wouldn't that be a good situation? Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Do you wish to die? The Blood Moon Elder was stunned. Holy lady, will I die if I become a teacher? Before Yi Qingtang could speak, the big yellow dog glanced at the Blood Moon Elder and said, It's not that you will die if you become a teacher. You will die if you stay in the academy. Brother Canine, can you explain further? The Blood Moon Elder asked. In that place before this, your so-called Wailing Well, didn't you hear those old men say that this little girl seems to be from some academy? If they investigate along that thread, there's no way we can escape. The big yellow dog explained while wagging its tail. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. It had to be said that this dog's intelligence was indeed much higher than the Blood Moon Elder's. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Holy lady, is that true? The Blood Moon Elder asked Yi Qingtang for confirmation. What do you think? Yi Qingtang sighed. Then, will the academy be at risk? The Blood Moon Elder frowned slightly. Yi Qingtang was stunned. Was this the Blood Moon Elder she knew? He was actually concerned about an academy, which he had no links to. Did his character change after being resurrected? If the academy is destroyed, where can I go to be a teacher in the future? Sigh. The Blood Moon Elder continued. Yi Qingtang. That's right, she had misunderstood just now. This matter has already alarmed the Academy Alliance. The mysterious resurrected person is still very weak, and will definitely not risk alerting the Academy Alliance. Therefore, the Academy will not be in any danger, Yi Qingtang explained to the Blood Moon Elder. If Yi Qingtang guessed correctly, that person was interested in her divine concealment spell, and not the Academy. The Academy would be safer if she was not there. Little girl, where are you going now? Why don't we travel together? I'm not very familiar with this place. The big yellow dog wagged its tail at Yi Qingtang. 1. Chapter 25:17. Not a god but an immortal 4. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. I'm not familiar with it either. It was true that she was not familiar with the second domain. Although she had been to the second domain in her previous life, this was a different era. Furthermore, the continent she was on was different. It doesn't matter if you're not familiar with it. It would still be better if we traveled together, the yellow dog insisted. Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog with a strange expression. What was wrong with this dog? When it was in the Wailing Well, it had been imposing and domineering, claiming that it wanted to take revenge for a blood feud. But now, was it not planning to take revenge anymore? It wanted to travel around with her instead. Actually, Yi Qingtang had not intended to leave the big yellow dog behind. It was just that its current behavior had piqued her curiosity. Who are you? Yi Qingtang crouched down and examined the big yellow dog carefully. Everything about this big yellow dog was like a mystery that Yi Qingtang could not figure out at all. I really am just a dog. Isn't that obvious? The big yellow dog said while wagging its tail. Indeed, Yi Qingtang did not doubt the big yellow dog's words. Yi Qingtang also believed that it was indeed a dog. But what kind of dog it was, and where it came from was the main point. I don't know how long you were asleep in the Wailing Well, but I want to know where you came from before you fell asleep. Yi Qingtang did not beat around the bush. The yellow dog was silent for a moment before it sighed. Tell me, why are you so curious? You are just a human girl. You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. Then what about Shirtian? Yi Qingtang continued to ask. As Yi Qingtang said that, the big yellow dog tilted its head. Well, it's a long story. However, I did misunderstand you. You have nothing to do with Shirtian. It's normal that you don't know him or even know him. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Who exactly is Shirtian? Yi Qingtang asked. Shirtian. You wouldn't know even if I told you. At your level. The big yellow dog mumbled softly. Brother Canine. I have always respected you, but I am not happy when you speak like that to my holy lady. So what if my holy lady is only at this level? She is not even worthy to know about some bullshit Shirtian? Who does he think he is? Is he a god? The Blood Moon Elder was displeased. No one could disparage his holy lady. God. The big yellow dog shook its head. No, not that. See, he's not a god. Why is there a need to talk about level? People can't even know about him? That's too much. The Blood Moon Elder scoffed. But he's an immortal, said the big yellow dog. The Blood Moon Elder frowned deeply. Did he hear wrongly, or did the big yellow dog speak wrongly? What the hell? Immortal? Did you say that Shirtian is an immortal? Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog. Immortal? Could he be from the fourth domain? However, as everyone knew, the fourth domain had already become a dead zone. There were no living creatures there. The fourth domain? What's that? The yellow dog asked. Yi Qingtang sighed. She realized that she did not live in the same world as this big yellow dog. It did not even know the basic composition of the 4 domains of the world. At that moment, Yi Qingtang began to seriously suspect whether this big yellow dog was playing a prank on her. Chapter 25:18. Dog is angry 1. Although she was very curious about the big yellow dog, Yi Qingtang really did not want to continue talking to it. She and the big yellow dog seemed to be on completely different wavelengths, and it was very difficult to communicate with it. Brother Canine, you don't even know about the 4 domains of the world? The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog in surprise. Should I know about them? The yellow dog glanced at Blood Moon Elder. The Blood Moon Elder was speechless. Shouldn't it know? Just as the Blood Moon Elder was about to say something, Yi Qingtang frowned and looked into the distance. The auras of several extremely terrifying powers were radiating from the depths of the void, and they were getting closer and closer. Even the Blood Moon Elder, who was standing at the side, sensed those auras. His face paled. "Holy Lady, have they come for us?" The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in surprise. Yi Qingtang's expression was grave. From the looks of it, they were indeed coming for her. "Go now." Yi Qingtang did not stay any longer, and immediately fled into the distance with the yellow dog and the Blood Moon Elder. Although Yi Qingtang's speed was fast, she had to slow down because of the Blood Moon Elder. On top of that, their pursuers were extremely powerful and caught up with Yi Qingtang and the rest in less than half an hour. Yi Qingtang was not unfamiliar with the person in the lead. She had only met him once in the Wailing Well. He was the elder with the golden book. "Come with us." The elder looked down imperiously at Yi Qingtang, his voice cold. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly when she heard that. She looked at the golden book elder in the sky and asked, "Who exactly are you? Why are you chasing us?" The elder sneered. "You're not worthy enough to know. I can only advise you to be obedient. There is no point in resisting." "Ha, what big words." Yi Qingtang was not afraid. She did not expect these people to find her so quickly. They must come from powerful backgrounds. "Holy Lady, leave first. I'll stop them." The Blood Moon Elder shouted. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. He probably couldn't stop even a single one of them. "I am afraid you guys can't stop me if I insist on leaving." Yi Qingtang scoffed. "Oh." The elder's interest was piqued. "I would like to see how you can escape then." "Holy Lady, I don't think we can defeat them," the Blood Moon Elder said softly. Right now, he was the equivalent of a cripple. Although the Holy Lady was powerful, it was impossible for her to defeat those elders. Especially the elder man with the golden book. His strength was unfathomable. "Don't you think I know that?" Yi Qingtang said softly. Even though they weren't strong enough, what else could they do? Should they really do as commanded and obediently stand on the spot without resisting? To allow themselves to be captured? Although the Golden Book Elder's powers were unfathomable, Yi Qingtang did not have to be afraid of him. "Holy Lady, we can't defeat them. If we run, we probably can't outrun them either. What should we do then?" The Blood Moon Elder had a bitter expression. Life was really too difficult. Yi Qingtang smiled. As long as it was not the resurrected man himself, she was not afraid of these people. With her abilities, only a fool would fight head-on. Not everything had to be solved with force. For example, she could try using her wits. Of course, that was something that the Blood Moon Elder was lacking. Chapter 25:19. Dog is angry too. Yi Qingtang already had an idea from before, and had always wanted to try it out. Now she could use these people as a trial. There were two outcomes when using the Deity Ocean. The first outcome was to directly enter the Deity Ocean space. The second outcome was the Divine Concealment spell. In such an uncertain situation, Yi Qingtang would pretend to concede defeat and approach those elders before using the power of the Deity Ocean. If she was lucky, she could bring them into the Deity Ocean space. At the very least, she could activate the Divine Concealment spell. Those elders would not be able to do anything to her then. Yi Qingtang gave a secret smile. The Yongla tribe had always loved human skin. If she brought these people into the Yongla tribe, she believed that the Yongla tribe general would definitely like them. Even if they were not directly transported to the Yongla tribe, many other demons liked human skin, and were as obsessed as the Yongla tribe general. Those demons would definitely be very interested in such a gift. Attack! Before Yi Qingtang could ponder further, the Golden Book Elder gave a cold shout. Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered and she shouted, Fine, fine, fine. You guys are too formidable. I admit defeat. I'll leave with you guys, alright?" The Golden Book Elder waved his hand and stopped his men's attack. He then sized up Yi Qingtang and laughed coldly. "You do know your place after all. Holy Lady, are we leaving with them just like that? Didn't you say you would rather die than submit?" The Blood Moon Elder had been willing to risk his life, but was surprised by Yi Qingtang's sudden concession. You can go if you want to. I'm not going. Little girl, you won't make things difficult for a dog, right? The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. However, Yi Qingtang did not have any intention of letting go of the big yellow dog. She laughed softly and said, That won't do. We are friends who have gone through thick and thin together. I definitely cannot leave you behind. Unless, without giving the big yellow dog a chance to speak, Yi Qingtang continued, unless you show your true powers and chase these people away. What do you think? Yi Qingtang believed that as long as the big yellow dog was willing, it would definitely be able to do it. After all, back at the Wailing Well, the big yellow dog had killed an above-emperor-level monster in one move. Also in the Deity Ocean realm, she did not know what the big yellow dog did, but it managed to frighten the West Sea tribe general. In Yi Qingtang's opinion, the big yellow dog was really hiding its abilities. There was no way she would let it off just like that. After hearing what Yi Qingtang said, the big yellow dog was a little anxious. I wish. Look, if I could defeat them, would I still need to wait for you to speak? I would have already slapped them to death long ago. Why would I let these people bully me like this? Little girl, don't you agree? Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog in disdain. Keep pretending. Let's see how long it could keep up its pretense. It was clearly a godlike dog, yet it wanted to pretend to be weak. What was its purpose? If the big yellow dog was willing to help, the matter would have been resolved long ago. Why was it still trying to squirm its way out of this? Looking at the big yellow dog in her arms, Yi Qingtang started to miss her little white tiger. If little white tiger was here now, damn, forget it. If that thing was here, it would probably flee even faster than the dog. Holy lady, don't be afraid. I'll cover you while you run. My skills are not good, but... The Blood Moon Elder stared at Yi Qingtang and fell into silence. He seemed to be utterly helpless now. Chapter 25-20. Dog is Angry 3. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. The Blood Moon Elder felt helpless, but Yi Qingtang felt even more helpless than him. Currently, the Blood Moon Elder was probably even lousier than a cripple. When she had time in the future, she must improve the Blood Moon Elder's skills first. Otherwise, there was no way that he could defeat anyone. The way he was now, he could not even protect himself. Seeing that the Blood Moon Elder still wanted to say something, Yi Qingtang hurriedly said, All right, I am the Holy Lady. Just listen to me. In the end, the Blood Moon Elder could only nod his head. Although he wanted to help, he could not do anything. Since his abilities did not allow him to help, he had no choice. Very quickly, Yi Qingtang's gaze landed on the Golden Book Elder. She smiled and said, Senior, I'll go with you. However, I want to ask why your lord wants to see me. Did I offend him in the Wailing Well? Or was there some misunderstanding? Yi Qingtang only wanted to get some information from the old man. What if she managed to get something out of him? Wouldn't that be a gain? Currently, Yi Qingtang knew nothing about the identities of these people. The enemy was hidden while she was standing exposed in the light. She did not even know the other party's identity. This made Yi Qingtang uncomfortable. There's no need to say any more nonsense. How dare you question my lord? You just have to obediently do as he says. As for your life or death, I can't decide it, and neither can you. It can only be decided by my lord. Do you understand? The elder snapped caustically. Fine. I understand. You guys are all very impressive. Yi Qingtang gave the old man a thumbs up. Who was the one who spoiled this old man to the point that he was this arrogant? Did he really think he was the messenger of God? Yi Qingtang sneered secretly. Just let them be arrogant for a while longer. If they were lucky, they could directly enter the Deity Ocean realm and throw them all into the pile of demons. Let them keep up this arrogance with those cruel demons. Let's see if the demons in the Deity Ocean realm would buy their act. Sir, do we need to tie them up? A middle-aged man behind the Golden Book Elder asked. There's no need for that. The elder spoke calmly. He's merely a mid-stage divine lord. Do we need to treat him so seriously? Are you afraid that he will escape from our hands? The middle-aged man nodded respectfully. You're right, sir. I shouldn't have said anything. Let's go. Do I need to invite you? The Golden Book Elder looked at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang was expressionless as she said, "All right. In that case, lead the way, senior. I also want to know who this great lord revived from the Wailing Well is." Just as Yi Qingtang was about to step forward, a bark of cold laughter came from behind. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Little bitch, I never expected to meet you here. So it's true that mortal enemies are always destined to meet. Several figures appeared in a flash. Yi Qingtang frowned. This lady, Yi Qingtang was familiar with the lady who spoke. When the inheritance of the divine phoenix was passed down, this lady in green was present, and Yi Qingtang's heavenly demon-devouring bloodline was also taken from her. This was the original owner of the heavenly demon-devouring bloodline. Yi Qingtang remembered that when she was still in the Jiang family and entered the land of infinite demons, she had seen this lady in green with an elder. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25-21. Dog is angry for. Back then, based on the aura of the white-haired elder, Yi Qingtang guessed that he must have come from the second domain. Now it seemed that her guess was right. This lady in green actually followed the white-haired elder to the second domain. In the land of infinite demons, Yi Qingtang once heard the lady in green refer to the white-haired elder as her master. It seemed that she had joined a major force in the second domain. Of course, with the lady in green's martial art talents, she was indeed worthy. Yi Qingtang would not refute this point. Holy lady, who is this? The Blood Moon Elder was stunned by the appearance of the lady in green, who was sneering coldly. What was this? They had yet to settle one problem, and another was already cropping up? My enemy. Yi Qingtang gave a brief reply. The Blood Moon Elder's lips twitched slightly. Holy lady, after my death, it seems like you have made many enemies. Look, holy lady, you can't live without me. Although you are unparalleled in the world, you have little experience. You can't compare to me in that aspect. Don't worry. With my glib tongue, I can make us more friends and fewer enemies. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Ever since his resurrection, his shamelessness had been honed to perfection. However, the Blood Moon Elder was right about one thing. The Blood Moon Elder had lived in the first domain for countless years, and even with her 2 lives, she had not lived as long as him. Little bitch, you snatched my bloodline back then. Today, I will dig out your bones and eat your flesh. The lady in green stared at Yi Qingtang with a cold glint in her eyes that would send chills down one's spine. Yi Qingtang sneered quietly. Back then at the inheritance of the divine phoenix, she did not have any intention of stealing any bloodline. It was the lady in green who had nefarious motives. In trying to steal something, she ended up losing everything. Not only did she fail to snatch the bloodline, but she had also lost one herself. Now, she was accusing Yi Qingtang of being the thief. What a joke. That's her, the heavenly demon-devouring bloodline. Suddenly, a middle-aged man in a golden robe walked over slowly with a faint smile on his face. The middle-aged man seemed to be walking slowly, but he crossed 1,000 meters with a single step. In a flash, he arrived beside everyone. Mighty One. When they saw the man in golden robes, the lady in green and her group greeted the middle-aged man respectfully. The middle-aged man did not speak. His eyes landed on Yi Qingtang, and he smiled. Little girl, follow me. Holy lady, you're really popular, the Blood Moon Elder said softly. Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered. She had a sudden idea. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. I'm afraid that's not possible. Yi Qingtang said to the middle-aged man in the golden robe. First come, first serve. I've already agreed to leave with that elder. How about this? If I survive them, you can look for me when the time comes. I'll leave with you then. How about that? Oh. The golden-robed man's gaze landed on the Golden Book Elder in his group. He smiled and said, Could you give me some face and let me take this little girl away? Face. Everyone behind the Golden Book Elder burst into laughter. Are you worthy enough for us to do that? The Golden Book Elder stared at the golden-robed middle-aged man as he spoke impassively. Oh, I am not worthy enough. Although the golden-robed middle-aged man had a smile on his face, it was a smile that would make one shudder. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 25-22. Dog is Angry 5. Yi Qingting quietly sized up the golden-robed man and the Golden Book Elder. They were both extraordinary, and if they came to blows, perhaps she might be able to escape during the chaos. Thereafter, Yi Qingting secretly glanced at the lady in green. Her martial skills were no longer the same as before. The speed at which her skills increased was too fast. Back at the inheritance of the Divine Phoenix, Yi Qingting learned that this lady in green was the reincarnation of a true god and had a boundless destiny. We are Sky Vault Sect's disciples. This is a Sky Vault branch master, one of the ladies said to the Golden Book Elder. Sky Vault Sect. At the side, Yi Qingting looked at everyone and frowned slightly. The Sky Vault Sect was famous and was highly ranked in the entire second domain. In her previous life, Yi Qingting had heard of the Sky Vault Sect. The paragon of the Sky Vault Sect was an extraordinary person in the second domain who had the ability to cover the sky. Yi Qingting did not expect that this lady in green would actually join the Sky Vault Sect. However, the fact that this lady in green was a reincarnation of a true god was enough for the Sky Vault Sect to groom her. Yi Qingting guessed that this lady in green did not reveal her identity. Otherwise, the Sky Vault Sect's supreme martial artist would definitely take her in as a disciple. Although Yi Qingting was surprised, she had heard of the Sky Vault Sect's reputation. On the other hand, the Golden Book Elder and his group did not seem to be impressed. Sky Vault Sect, even if you're from the Temple of Paragon, I'm afraid you are still unworthy. The Golden Book Elder sneered. Oh, it seems that you are quite arrogant. The golden-robed man looked at the Golden Book Elder. The corners of his lips curled up into a cold smile. In that case, I would like to ask where you are from. None of your business. You are not worthy enough to know either, said the Golden Book Elder. I see. In that case, you must pay the price for your arrogance. As he spoke, the golden-robed man raised his right arm and tapped lightly with his finger. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. In the blink of an eye, countless sword lights surged out from all directions. The sword lights were like rainbows, their auras unparalleled. They slashed towards the Golden Book Elder and his group. Sky-penetrating sword intent. The Golden Book Elder observed as he sneered. Looks like I've really underestimated you. You can actually execute the sky-penetrating sword intent so easily. The Golden Book Elder remained unmoving. Even as he spoke, he did not move at all. When the countless sword lights struck, Yi Qingting saw that the elder quickly opened the golden book in his hand and muttered something. In the next second, an enormous golden avatar descended like a true god and stood guard beside the old man. Even the extremely terrifying sword intent was unable to break through the golden avatar's defenses. There was a constant rumbling sound, accompanied by a large amount of dust. Following that, the golden avatar's eyes widened in fury. It raised its arm and formed a gigantic demon palm that smacked towards the golden-robed middle-aged man. Bam! In the blink of an eye, the two supreme auras collided with each other, causing everyone to be thoroughly shocked. The Blood Moon Elder was flabbergasted. After being stunned for a long time, he looked at Yi Qingting. Holy lady, this is Emperor level. There was no need for the Blood Moon Elder to state the obvious. Yi Qingting could feel the power of these people herself. This was especially true for the Golden Book Elder and the golden-robed man. Their strength was beyond description. Chapter 25-23. Dog is Angry 6. Indeed, just as the Blood Moon Elder said, When considering both the Golden Book Elder and the golden-robed middle-aged man, who was known as the Sky Vault Sex Branch Master, their abilities had already reached the Emperor level. Not only that, the aura exuded by those two of them was not something an ordinary Emperor stage cultivator could compare to. It was also Yi Qingtang's first time seeing the Golden Book Elder attack. Although Yi Qingtang knew that he was very powerful when they were in the Wailing Well, she did not expect him to be so powerful. If this Golden Book Elder was already so powerful, then that meant that resurrected man. Yi Qingtang did not dare to continue thinking about it, as it was too terrifying. Holy Lady, how are they compared to those generals in the Deity Ocean realm? Are they still inferior? The Blood Moon Elder asked. Yi Qingtang pondered over that. Actually, a demon general in the Deity Ocean realm was much stronger than them in terms of martial strength. More importantly, demons lived in groups, and the difference in strength between them wasn't that wide, especially between a general and a major demon. If these people were thrown into the Deity Ocean realm, they would not be able to survive if they became enemies with an entire tribe of demons. However, if they fought one-on-one, the demons might be on the losing end, as they did not understand the divine abilities and martial art techniques of the human race. It was hard for Yi Qingtang to be able to judge the outcome accurately. Holy Lady, I thought of something. You are able to bring people into and out of the Deity Ocean space freely. How about you throw them all into the Deity Ocean space and let them die? A sly look flashed across the Blood Moon Elder's eyes as he murmured his idea to Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. She had already thought of this idea. However, given the current situation, how was she going to throw so many people into the Deity Ocean realm in one go? It was simply unrealistic. Moreover, she might not be able to enter the Deity Ocean space. At best, she only had a 50 to 50% chance. At this moment, rumbling sounds could be heard in the distance. The Sky Vault sect and the Golden Book Elder's men were fighting. What Deity Ocean realm? Why aren't you running now? What are you waiting for? Are you stupid? The big yellow dog hurriedly said. Yi Qingtang immediately ran away with the big yellow dog in her arms, and the Blood Moon Elder close behind. Yi Qingtang was not afraid of being discovered by the Golden Book Elder and the golden-robed middle-aged man. They were locked in such a fierce battle, so even if they saw them running away, would they be able to stop their fight and chase after her? Visit Readle.me for extra chapters. Sir, those people ran away. One of the Golden Book Elder's men pointed out to him. The Golden Book Elder looked into the distance and smiled. There's no need to be anxious. I've already locked onto her aura. She won't be able to run far. Yi Qingtang only stopped after fleeing for about 100 miles. However, she discovered that she still had the two extremely powerful auras on her body. No wonder. Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. They allowed her to leave because they had already infused her body with their auras. No matter how far she ran, they could still catch up to her. These people were really cunning. Finally safe. The Blood Moon Elder heaved a sigh of relief. He thought that he would have to leave this beautiful world again after being resurrected. Little girl. The big yellow dog stared at Yi Qingtang thoughtfully. What's wrong? Yi Qingtang's gaze landed on the big yellow dog. Chapter 25-24. Dog is angry 7. Interesting. The big yellow dog scrutinized Yi Qingtang's chest. What do you mean? Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. The seal in your body is almost gone, right? The big yellow dog asked. Yi Qingtang's expression changed immediately. Of course Yi Qingtang knew which seal the big yellow dog was referring to. Haha, little girl, this is a very common sealing technique. What's in there that you need to seal? Take it out and let me have a look. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang. If she took it out, would she be able to live? It was her heart that was sealed. Why are there 2 additional auras on your body? The yellow dog was suddenly startled. They are not planning to let you go. Yi Qingtang just smiled. Not me. Then who? The yellow dog was confused. It's us, Yi Qingtang replied naturally. The big yellow dog glanced at Yi Qingtang. I have no grudge with them. Those people are your enemies. It has nothing to do with me. You're right. It's a pity that you forgot one thing. Yi Qingtang's lips curled up slightly. They don't think so. Now that we are on the same side, we have to face the enemy together. I'm tired of fighting and killing. I want to go home. The big yellow dog looked up at the sky. Brother Canine, don't worry. When we are safe and find a place to stay, I will definitely get you several luxurious kennels, the Blood Moon Elder said from the side. Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog thoughtfully. Why are you looking at the sky when you want to go home? Is your house still in the sky? My house is indeed in the sky. How can I go back? The big yellow dog lowered its head, as if it was really thinking about how to fly. Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. Damn, this dog was acting up again. Holy lady, where should we go now? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang in confusion. Ever since he was resurrected, he had been on the run with the Holy Lady. Yi Qingtang did not say anything. She also had her doubts. Previously, Yi Qingtang wanted to head to the Dragon Emperor clan to investigate. However, now that she was being chased by those two factions, she might be in too much trouble now. If she were to head to the Dragon Emperor clan before resolving this, she would not be protected by the clan, as she could not reveal her identity. On the contrary, if she were to head to the Temple of Paragon, the outcome would be very different. However, Yi Qingtang felt a headache when she thought of the Temple of Paragon. Although she helped them to deal with the Sea King, if they realized that she was not the reincarnation of the Paragon, would they tear her to pieces? Let's go to the Temple of Paragon, Yi Qingtang said after a long while. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. At this current stage, it was more important for Yi Qingtang to resolve her imminent troubles first. And the only one who could help her deal with it quickly was the Temple of Paragon. Regardless, the Temple of Paragon owed her a favor. After all, if not for her, the Sea King would not be so easily fooled. Holy Lady, what did you say? The Blood Moon Elder was stunned. What did his Holy Lady say just now? Did he hear wrongly, or did the Holy Lady speak wrongly? The Temple of Paragon. Chapter 25-25. Dog is angry. 8. The Blood Moon Elder knew that the Temple of Paragon was one of the top powers in the second domain. They were even linked to the Heavenly Emperor of the third domain. As for the Heavenly Emperor, that was the Blood Moon Holy Lord's main body. His own main body was the Heavenly Emperor's follower. How could his Holy Lady not know about the background of the Temple of Paragon? Moreover, did the Temple of Paragon allow people to enter so easily? I think it's best if you don't think too much about where you're going for now. They're already catching up. The big yellow dog quickly reminded them. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. The big yellow dog was right. Dozens of extremely powerful auras were approaching at an incredibly fast speed. Before Yi Qingtang could consider further, the figures arrived. Yi Qingtang sized them up. They were not the Golden Book Elders group, but the lady in green from the Sky Vault sect, and the middle-aged man in gold robes. So fast. Yi Qingtang was surprised and could not understand. Wasn't the Sky Vault sect locked in a fierce battle with the Golden Book Elder and his men? How did they catch up so quickly? There was no way Yi Qingtang believed that the Golden Book Elder would lose. Little bitch, let's see where you can run to. The lady in green glared at Yi Qingtang with a cold glint in her eyes. Without waiting for Yi Qingtang to say anything, the golden-robed man smiled and said, "Little girl, you can run quite fast. To be safe, I should break your legs and your hands first, so that you can't move. What do you think?" Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. She would not be able to deal with any one of them in her current state, not to mention this golden-robed middle-aged man, the Sky Vault Sect's branch master. I say, you guys, enough is enough. Why are you bullying others? She's still a young girl. If this gets out, won't it be embarrassing for you? The big yellow dog, who had been nestled in Yi Qingtang's arms the entire time, suddenly spoke up. A strange look flashed across the golden-robed man's eyes. He sized up the big yellow dog carefully. It was indeed just an ordinary yellow dog. Why was it able to speak the human language? And from that, Its intelligence was definitely above that of an elite demon beast. It was rather strange. A lowly beast dares to spout nonsense? The lady in green shouted coldly, but the golden-robed man waved his hand. Before Yi Qingting knew what happened, the big yellow dog in her arms disappeared instantly and was taken away by the golden-robed middle-aged man. The golden-robed man carried the big yellow dog in one hand and carefully inspected it. How strange! I am being reprimanded by a beast that can speak human language. The golden-robed man smiled faintly. I am a dog. Don't call me a beast. You can call me Big Yellow or Brother Canine, said the big yellow dog. The golden-robed man's expression instantly changed. He lifted the big yellow dog into the air and flung it onto the ground. With a loud boom, the ground beneath the golden-robed man's feet shattered. You are just a beast. Your life is cheap, but you insist on being so mouthy. The golden-robed man chuckled as he gazed at the dead big yellow dog. Damn you, that hurts. In the next second, as everyone watched on, the big yellow dog slowly stood up and shook its fur. Upon seeing this, the golden-robed man frowned slightly and raised his leg. The sound of thunder rang out. Gathering a mass of energy, he stepped heavily on the big yellow dog's body. Chapter 25-26, Alarm, 1. The Blood Moon Elder broke out in cold sweat when he saw the golden-robed middle-aged man stomp on the big yellow dog. This guy was so cruel that he did not show mercy to a mere dog. Yi Qingting was not worried about the big yellow dog. Although the big yellow dog had always kept a low profile and was afraid of trouble, with its skills, even if it could not defeat the Sky Vault Sex Branch Master, it would not be killed by him without any retaliation. Others might not have seen the ferocity of the big yellow dog, but Yi Qingting had witnessed it with her own eyes. Brother Canine, are you still alive? The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog with brows slightly furrowed. He called out softly to the dog, who was still beneath the golden-robed man's foot. However, the yellow dog did not speak for a long time. Holy Lady, do you think Brother Canine is dead? The Blood Moon Elder was a little worried. No matter what, they had experienced life and death together. However, before Yi Qingting could speak, the big yellow dog's tail swayed gently. Little human, you have gone too far. The expressions of the Sky Vault sect people changed slightly. The big yellow dog could still speak after being hit twice by the branch master. Oh, a hint of interest surfaced in the golden-robed man's eyes. Previously, when he sized it up, there wasn't anything special about this big yellow dog. But now, it seemed like that wasn't the case. Even a high-level demon beast would not be able to withstand these two attacks, not to mention a common dog. I've underestimated you. The golden-robed man's lips curled up slightly. Forget it. Since you aren't an ordinary animal and a rare spiritual beast, it'll bring you back to the palace. It's not bad to be a mascot. Mascot. The big yellow dog slowly crawled out from the collapsed ground and shook off the dust on its body. Its eyes were chilled to the extreme. You are asking me to be a mascot. What? You're not willing? The golden-robed man sneered. It's a pity that you're just a dog. Otherwise, any other beast who can survive 2 blows by me is worthy enough to be my mount. Mount? The big yellow dog raised its head and looked at the golden-robed man. Little human, have you never heard of those who fly in the sky, swim in the sea, or run on the ground can all become mounts? But in this world, only canines are off limits. Huh? Is there such a saying? The golden-robed man was intrigued. Do you know why canines can't be used as mounts? The big yellow dog asked. I am indeed interested to hear your explanation. The golden-robed man stood with his hands behind his back. Because this is a rule I set during the ancient era. The golden-robed man's smile suddenly froze. In that instant, Yi Qingting and the Blood Moon Elder saw a terrifying red glow in the big yellow dog's eyes. It opened its mouth and a hurricane formed between its jaws. Within the hurricane, purple-red lightning flashed nonstop. It was as if the hurricane in the big yellow dog's mouth encompassed the tens of thousands of great Tao laws across the entire Buddhist universe. Before Yi Qingting, and the Blood Moon Elder could return to their senses, the golden-robed middle-aged man's face was already filled with defeat. What kind of monster was this dog? Under this torrential force, the golden-robed man even lost the strength to move his fingers. He could not move at all. His body instinctively wanted to escape this place, but his limbs refused to listen to his commands. Chapter 25-27, Alarm 2, Swoosh. All of a sudden, a violent rush of wind burst out, and everything was engulfed by purple-red lightning. Everything trembled under this pure power of destruction. In the blink of an eye, under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the body of the golden-robed Sky Vault Branch Master shattered into pieces under this force, turning into specks of dust, as if burned by the flames of the abyss. Branch Master. The faces of the people from the Sky Vault sect turned pale at the sight. No one knew what had happened. The Branch Master, who had been fine just a second ago, turned into nothing in the next second. All that was left was a streak of golden soul power, which escaped from his body and fled into the distance. Branch Master's soul has left his body. Run! A certain Sky Vault sect disciple shouted, and only then did the people from Sky Vault sect return to their senses. They immediately scattered, fleeing into the distance. In the blink of an eye, everyone from the Sky Vault sect had disappeared without a trace. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder were the only ones left. After a few breaths, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder likewise returned to their senses. The two of them looked at each other and saw disbelief and shock in each other's eyes. The nearly invincible Sky Vault Branch Master's body had been destroyed by the big yellow dog in less than a second. Unfortunately, the Sky Vault Sect Branch Master reacted extremely quickly. He actually managed to separate his soul from his body at the last second. If he had been just a moment late, even his soul would have been obliterated. Brother Canine. The Blood Moon Elder rushed forward and scooped up the big yellow dog. He sized it up with concern. Brother Canine, are you all right? That bastard actually dared to be so rude to you. He deserves to be hacked into pieces and die a horrible death. As the saying goes, a brother for a day is a brother for life. You're my brother Canine, and I'm your brother human. I'll be depending on you from now on, Brother Canine. However, the big yellow dog shook its tail and ignored the Blood Moon Elder. It looked up into the sky. The power that had been accumulated for so many days was released all at once, and contained a unique aura. This aura would probably alert the higher realms. This was not a good thing. At the same time, the Dragon Emperor clan, the evil lord, is an unfamiliar emperor-level power. I've never felt it before. It's coming from the north, and is currently in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. Hearing that, one of the evil deities in the Dragon Emperor clan suddenly opened his eyes and looked towards the north. His eyes seemed to be able to peer through space and reach the end of the void. Immortal Emperor-level combat strength? Find it. The Temple of Paragon. Oh, Immortal Emperor-level combat powers? A man walked out from the walls of the palace hall and looked into the distance thoughtfully. In a remote place in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, the man's tightly shut eyes opened. My lord, it should be Immortal Emperor-level combat power. An old man stood respectfully beside the man. How interesting. My lord, you just recovered from the Wailing Well, and now? My lord, your body is still too weak. Why don't you rest and return to the third domain? Almost at the same time, the various large factions of the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain were all alarmed by this unprecedented Immortal Emperor power. At that moment, Yi Qingtang was just looking at the big yellow dog. She did not expect the power released by the big yellow dog to alert the top-notch forces in the entirety of the second domain. Chapter 25-28, Alarm 3. Brother Canine, say something. A brother for a day, a brother for a lifetime. Brother Canine, do you need a successor? To nurture a powerful figure or something? Did you know that humans are the most cunning race? Not many humans can be trusted. Do you need to groom a powerful human to serve you? Brother Canine, I'm the most suitable candidate. How about you groom me? The Blood Moon Elder hugged the big yellow dog tightly, looking like he was afraid that the big yellow dog would run away. Groom you. The big yellow dog's gaze slowly landed on the Blood Moon Elder. After sizing him up for a moment, he said, I might as well train that little girl. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips curled up as she walked quickly to the yellow dog. Master. The big yellow dog. These humans. With Yi Qingtang's experience from 2 lifetimes, how could she not know that the ability displayed by the big yellow dog just now had already completely surpassed the Emperor stage and reached an unprecedented level? Immortal Emperor level was at the top of the pyramid of the 3 domains. In fact, in her 2 lifetimes, this was the first time Yi Qingtang felt the power of an immortal emperor. Yi Qingtang originally thought that the yellow dog would at most be at the emperor level. However, Yi Qingtang did not expect that this dog was actually an immortal emperor, above the emperor level. How many immortal emperors were there in the 3 domains? I'm hungry. I want to eat beef jerky. The big yellow dog shook its head and tail. Yes, yes, yes. Yi Qingtang immediately took out some dry food from her space ring and fed it to the big yellow dog. Come, I'll feed you. After the big yellow dog finished eating all the dry food, it said, Actually, I am very weak now. There are restrictions here, so it's useless for you to suck up to me. The strength that I have accumulated over so many years is all gone now. Brother Canine, what do you mean? The Blood Moon Elder was baffled. He did not understand what the yellow dog meant when it said there were restrictions here. Even Yi Qingtang was baffled and did not understand the meaning of the yellow dog's words. Also, what did it mean by accumulated strength? As a dignified immortal emperor, did it still need to accumulate strength? Didn't it have limitless power? Sigh, this place won't do. The laws are too restrictive, and the accumulation of powers is very slow. I can't fight with others next time. If the people above sense my existence, it will bring destruction to this world. The big yellow dog continued. The Blood Moon Elder slapped his thigh and said, Brother Canine, that's right. That's why you can't do everything yourself. That's why you need the Holy Lady and me. Look, groom the Holy Lady, and let her do everything in the future. Let the Holy Lady fight whenever necessary. All will be fine then. Although the Blood Moon Elder did not know what the big yellow dog was talking about, he believed in what he was saying. The big yellow dog glanced at Yi Qingtang. Its gaze landed on Yi Qingtang's chest. After a moment of silence, it said, Little girl, I'm afraid you have an extremely complicated background. What do you mean by that? Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. This was the second time that the big yellow dog tactfully mentioned her heart of heavenly Tao. The heart of heavenly Tao had been sealed by the divine phoenix previously. Judging from the time that had passed, the seal probably wouldn't last long. Chapter 25-29, Karmic Divination, 1. Yi Qingtang felt that this big yellow dog must have seen through to her heart of the heavenly Tao. Perhaps it knew something that she did not. Yi Qingtang was very curious about this, and wondered if the big yellow dog could tell her something about the heart of the heavenly Tao. The big yellow dog sized up Yi Qingtang's chest for a long time before retracting its gaze. Little girl, you're quite extraordinary. There are many things I am not sure of, but there's one thing I can be certain of. You'll bring about a fatal calamity upon yourself. This is a calamity you will have to endure, the big yellow dog said. I will bring about a fatal calamity upon myself? Yi Qingtang was even more confused after hearing the yellow dog's words. What did the yellow dog mean? Besides, you're an unlucky person. Truly unlucky. I don't mean that you will cause the death of the people around you, but you will bring bad luck to them, the big yellow dog continued. That's good, the Blood Moon Elder said instinctively. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder, who looked rather embarrassed. Then, do you know its origin? Yi Qingtang pointed at the position of her heart. I'm not sure about that, but the Karma bloodline race should know, the big yellow dog said after a moment of silence. Karma bloodline race? Yi Qingtang was a little surprised. Ling Yin was the only one who had the Karma bloodline in this world. Yet the big yellow dog claimed that there was an entire race. How is that possible? However, You must not let those monsters from the Karma bloodline clan see you. Otherwise, they will definitely kill you to put an end to future troubles. Probably. Brother Canine, you're being too vague. Can you be more direct? What terminal illness does my holy lady have? Can you treat her? Is she suffering from bad luck? The Blood Moon Elder asked anxiously. Yi Qingtang looked at the Blood Moon Elder in exasperation. Could he not describe her situation in such dire terms? How would I know? I'll use a karmic technique to divine her, said the yellow dog. You know the karmic technique? Yi Qingtang was surprised. I have a grudge with the Karma bloodline clan. In the past, a few of them fell into my hands. I forced them to teach me a little of the karmic techniques. After teaching me, I killed them, said the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang. In that instant, Yi Qingtang started to worry about Ling Yan. Would this big yellow dog want to kill Ling Yan too? The big yellow dog stood at the side and used its paws to dig at the dust on the ground. It mumbled some unintelligible mystic words, looking very much like a charlatan. After a long time, the big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang again with an indescribably strange expression. What's the matter? What came about from the divination? Yi Qingtang was baffled to see the yellow dog looking at her so strangely. Strange is too strange. That's impossible. How could something like that happen? Could I have miscalculated? The big yellow dog asked. Although its karmic technique was not that good, it could still come up with an approximate divination. However, when was used on Yi Qingtang, her fate was illusory and very strange. No, the big yellow dog refused to believe it. It used its karmic technique again, but the result was the same. I calculated a few times. You might not believe me if I tell you. The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. You will want to kill yourself. Chapter 2530. Karmic Divination, 2. Yi Qingtang was stunned by the yellow dog's words. When she regained her composure, her lips twitched. Did the dog say that she would want to kill herself? How astonishing was this karmic technique? How could it produce something like that? Brother Canine, your karmic technique doesn't seem to be very good. The Blood Moon Elder looked at the big yellow dog and smiled. He completely disregarded the big yellow dog's words. How could there be anyone in this world who would want to kill himself? Even the big yellow dog was baffled. Yes, that's right, but that's the result of my karmic divination. What's going on? Could it be that my divination went wrong or did not work, because I was asleep for too long? The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang and wagged its tail. Little girl, is there something bothering you? Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. I've never thought of ending my own life. Then, probably there's something wrong with my technique. Forget it, I don't have a karma bloodline. It's perfectly normal for me to make mistakes, said the yellow dog. Let's go. We can't stay here for long. In the end, Yi Qingtang sighed and completely dispelled the thought of learning about the heart of the heavenly Tao from the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder quickly left with the big yellow dog. Given that one of the Sky Vault sect's branch masters had been severely injured by the big yellow dog, it was likely that the Sky Vault sect would not let the matter rest. Also, it was unknown whether the golden-haired old man would catch up to them. It was best to leave as soon as possible. 2 days later, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder came to a relay station at the border to rest. By now, Yi Qingtang had been traveling at a fast pace for the past 2 days. This should be a safe place, and she could rest well for the time being. She would not need to be on tenterhooks here. After eating and drinking, Yi Qingtang returned to her room and built a temporary kennel for the big yellow dog. I'm really not used to lying on your human bed. The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog. Where exactly are you from? The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Why? Are you very curious about me? Yi Qingtang did not refute this point. She was indeed very curious about the big yellow dog. Ever since she met the big yellow dog at the Wailing Well, it was like a mystery. She could not figure it out, nor could she understand it. If you were me, you would be curious too, right? Yi Qingtang said a moment later. The big yellow dog said, You don't have to think too much about where I come from. In any case, I don't have any ulterior motives towards you. I don't have any ulterior motives towards your lower realm either. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. Lower realm? What did the yellow dog mean by the lower realm? Could there be an upper realm? As a person of 2 lifetimes, Yi Qingtang had never heard of upper and lower realms. Could there really be an upper realm? Yi Qingtang asked curiously. The big yellow dog ignored Yi Qingtang and kept wagging its tail. Did it accidentally reveal something just now? Unable to endure Yi Qingtang's pestering, the big yellow dog could only nod and give Yi Qingtang a definite answer. All right. If you really want to know, I'll tell you. I'm all ears. Yi Qingtang nodded. Chapter 2531, Karmic Divination 3. The big yellow dog pondered for a long time before saying slowly, since the creation of the world, it has been divided into the upper and lower realms. In the lower realm there were once gods and demons. The god race created the primordial human race. Meanwhile in the upper realm, just as the big yellow dog finished its sentence and was about to say something more, the void around it started to expand and distort at a visible rate. In just an instant, the big yellow dog jumped up from its kennel with a grave expression. Restricted. The expression on Yi Qingtang's face changed as well. What had happened? Little girl, stop asking. There are some things that you can know, and some things that you cannot. If I tell you, I will bring about a calamity that will be enough to destroy all living beings. The big yellow dog said seriously. Yi Qingtang was deep in thought after hearing the big yellow dog. What happened just now? Could it be that the big yellow dog said something that it should not have said, and caused the natural laws of the world to distort? No, it was not that the big yellow dog had said something that it should not have. It was probably what the big yellow dog was about to say. That was something that she should not hear. She probably didn't have the right to hear. Yi Qingtang was surprised and curious. What kind of truth was it that caused the natural laws to distort so intensely? And what did the upper and lower realms that the yellow dog mentioned represent? Nevertheless, Yi Qingtang now learned a shocking piece of information from the big yellow dog. It was that the world was split into the upper and lower realms. Moreover, even the most powerful races of gods and demons in the primordial era were just a product of the lower realm. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang did not know about the upper and lower realms. Looking at it now, the world was far from being as simple as it once appeared. After a long while, when the surrounding void regained its calm, the big yellow dog slowly said, Your lower realm is ruled by the heavenly Tao rules, and the higher realm is the same. However, little girl, I can tell you clearly that the heart in your body and your deity ocean are not products of the lower realm. So you're saying that my heart and the deity ocean are from the upper realm? Yi Qingtang asked the big yellow dog. If I'm not wrong, the deity ocean comes from the upper realm. As for your heart, I'm unable to see through it. Its heavenly Tao aura is too rich and blocks everything. Yi Qingtang gathered her thoughts. No matter what the world was like, or what the truth was, it was not important to her now. The prerequisite for everything was one's own strength. If she had absolute strength, she would know everything without anyone telling her. At that instant, Yi Qingtang suddenly had an intense desire that she had never had before. She wished to become stronger than anyone else. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog, and her eyes flickered. A faint smile appeared on her face. Didn't you say that you wanted to train me? In Yi Qingtang's opinion, the big yellow dog was completely qualified to teach her, and could let her skills undergo a significant transformation in a short period of time. No. The big yellow dog did not hesitate at all and said frankly, I don't know how to teach humans. Besides, if it's so easy to nurture expert practitioners, the current world should already be filled with such people. Actually, the yellow dog was not lying. Powerful practitioners had never been the products of nurturing. Chapter 2532, Karmic Divination 4. If the strong could be produced just by nurturing, then there would be no difference between the weak and the outstanding. Everyone knew this, but it was also not an absolute law. There was a world of difference between the effectiveness of an ordinary academy and a top academy in nurturing the same student. With the big yellow dog's strength, even if it could not train her to be at its level, it can at least help her improve significantly. Little girl, don't look at me like that. I know what you're thinking, but don't forget, I'm just a dog. I'm not a human. I don't know much about the physical or spiritual attributes of your human race. We are of a completely different species. How can I teach you? We are incompatible. The big yellow dog also felt rather frustrated. It knew what it had to do to train a dog, but it really had no idea how to train a human. Also, you shouldn't depend too much on me. I can't even protect myself now. If my enemies find me one day, I might even implicate you. The big yellow dog sighed. You previously said that energy cannot be gathered here. That is true, Yi Qingtang said seriously as she stared at the big yellow dog. The big yellow dog nodded. Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? Do I look like an all-powerful dog who just prefers to keep a low profile? Yi Qingtang rubbed her chin and sized up the big yellow dog before shaking her head. It really did not look like it. That's right. I can't accumulate my powers because of the laws here. Otherwise, I would have already reigned supreme in your lower realm. Would I have to beg for food so pitifully from you? The big yellow dog sighed. Then, is there any way to help you? Yi Qingtang asked the big yellow dog after a moment of silence. If she could help the big yellow dog recover its strength, it would remember her good deed. By then, wouldn't she be extremely formidable too? Yes. The big yellow dog immediately stood up and wagged its tail. Just destroy the natural laws of the lower realm. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog for a moment. Her lips twitched. Go to sleep. It's getting late. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. If you can't do that, you can also send me back to the upper realm. Seeing that Yi Qingtang seemed to have lost the desire to continue talking to it, the big yellow dog changed its tone. Send you back to the upper realm? Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. How can I send you back? When your powers are high enough to interfere with the natural laws of the lower realm, you can then ascend to the upper realm, the big yellow dog said, wagging its tail. Yi Qingtang, go to sleep. It's late. Yi Qingtang could not be bothered with the big yellow dog anymore, and blew out the candle. Destroy the natural laws of the world. Interfere with the natural laws of the world. Was this big yellow dog talking nonsense? If she had such heaven-defying divine powers, would she still be hiding in this lousy relay station and talking nonsense to it? Little girl, don't be disheartened. No matter what, you are the one who brought me out of that damned place. I owe you a favor. Don't worry. I always avenge the crimes against me and repay favors owed. I can grant you a wish. The big yellow dog's voice drifted out in the darkness. Yi Qingtang said, I want. The big yellow dog said, go to sleep. It's getting late. Chapter 2533, Deal 1. After an unknown period of time in the darkness, Yi Qingtang opened her eyes and leaped up. Running over quietly to the kennel, Yi Qingtang tugged at the big yellow dog's ear. What are you doing? The big yellow dog opened its eyes, which gleamed faintly in the darkness. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly and gestured for them to keep quiet. She said softly, lower your voice. Someone is approaching. What does that have to do with me? Anyway, he's definitely not here to look for me. The big yellow dog yawned and was indifferent to Yi Qingtang's words. Not looking for you? I don't think so. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog and said softly, previously, you severely injured a branch master of the Sky Vault sect and destroyed his body, forcing his soul to flee. Perhaps the Sky Vault sect is here to take revenge on you. The big yellow dog regained its senses and asked in surprise, why do you humans like to seek revenge so much? Then what should we do? Yi Qingtang remained silent in thought. They clearly knew how powerful the big yellow dog was, but they still dared to come over to seek revenge. This meant that these people were not afraid of the big yellow dog's abilities at all. If it was really the Sky Vault sect, it was very likely that the Sky Vault sect paragon had personally come. If that was the case, the consequences would be unimaginable. A branch master of the Sky Vault sect already had terrifying powers. If the Sky Vault sect paragon were to come in person, Yi Qingtang frowned deeply. She did not dare to finish that thought. Little girl, are you plagued by bad luck? Why do we encounter so many things wherever you go? It's really my extreme bad luck to be by your side. The big yellow dog complained. Yi Qingtang glared at the big yellow dog. You still have the cheek to criticize me? If you did not severely injure the Sky Vault sect's branch master, the people from the Sky Vault sect would not have come here to seek revenge, right? Are you blaming me? The big yellow dog snorted. That was all to help you. Help me. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. That had not been the case. Previously, she had asked the big yellow dog to help, but it refused no matter what. It had obviously blown up in anger after getting beaten. What did it have to do with her? Little girl, now is not the time to talk about this. Didn't you say earlier that you wanted to grant me a wish? I have one now. Go and lure those people from the Sky Vault sect away. Go quickly. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Yi Qingtang. Astonishment was the only way one could describe Yi Qingtang as she stared at the big yellow dog. Could this dog be any more shameless? It was clearly the one who said that it wanted to grant her one wish. But now, it had suddenly become the other way around. It was only at that moment that Yi Qingtang finally believed that the big yellow dog was not lying. It was indeed unable to gather its strength in a short period. Otherwise, it would not have said such shameless words. Before she fell asleep, Yi Qingtang was still full of anticipation for the upper realm mentioned by the big yellow dog. She wanted to know what was actually up there. But now, Yi Qingtang had completely lost interest in the so-called upper realm. In all honesty, she was afraid that all the powerful figures in the upper realm were as shameless as the big yellow dog. With that thought in mind, Yi Qingtang was too lazy to continue paying attention to the big yellow dog. She walked to the round window in the house and looked out. The surroundings were quiet, and there was no sound at all. However, Yi Qingtang could feel a few powerful forces inadvertently spreading out from the dark, causing one's heart to tremble. Chapter 2534. Deal 2. Just one of them was enough to crush Yi Qingtang to death with a single finger. And there were several of them out there now. Yi Qingtang was very surprised. She knew about the Sky Vault sect. They were powerful, but they couldn't possibly be that powerful. How many mighty figures were there in the Sky Vault sect? For a moment there, Yi Qingtang did not know what to do. There was no way to escape from this siege. Yi Qingtang wanted to say something, but her gaze suddenly landed outside the house. In the next second, Yi Qingtang hugged the big yellow dog and leaped onto the beam. After a few breaths, the door creaked open. Through the moonlight, Yi Qingtang saw that the person was no stranger to her. It was the woman in green. Yi Qingtang sneered. This lady in green was like a sticky plaster that could not be shaken off. After the woman in green entered, she did not do anything, but just stood by the door and scanned the house. Hey, little slut, why are you still hiding? After a long time, the lady in green looked at the roof beam. Seeing that she had been discovered by the woman in green, Yi Qingtang did not say anything. With no intention to continue hiding, she directly threw the big yellow dog at the woman. The woman in green did not see the big yellow dog clearly and thought that Yi Qingtang was throwing some concealed projectile. She instinctively dodged. There was a loud crash as the big yellow dog slammed into the ground. Seeing that, Yi Qingtang could not help but sigh and smack her forehead. She originally wanted to have the yellow dog launch a sneak attack, but the result was different from what she expected. Little girl, are you still human? You used me as a projectile. The big yellow dog stood up and shouted at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang jumped down from the beam. The lady in green waved her fingers, and the candles in the room lit up. You managed to hide quite a distance away. The woman in green's gaze landed on Yi Qingtang as she sized her up. Huh, are you here to seek death? Yi Qingtang was not afraid in the slightest when facing the lady in green. Her lips curled into a cold smile as she said, even your branch master's body was destroyed. You are quite bold to dare to come looking for me." As Yi Qingtang spoke, she glanced at the big yellow dog not far away. The meaning behind Yi Qingtang's words was very clear. Even the Sky Vault Sect's branch master was heavily injured by the big yellow dog in one strike. Even if this woman was the reincarnation of a true god, she was still not as strong as the Sky Vault Sect's branch master at this current stage. "Ha, Yi Qingtang. So you think I came to take revenge on you?" The lady in green smiled. "If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website, my thanks. If not, tell me why you are here then," Yi Qingtang said. "I came here today to make a deal with you." The lady in green's gaze landed inadvertently on Yi Qingtang's chest. "You want to make a deal with me?" Yi Qingtang glanced at the lady in green and could not help feeling amused. There was a deep-seated grudge between the two of them. How could they strike a deal? "That's right." The lady in green looked at Yi Qingtang and nodded. "I'm curious as to what kind of deal you and I can make. Go on." Yi Qingtang finally spoke after a long while. "Yi Qingtang, I want your heart." The lady in green uttered those shocking words. A cold glint flickered in Yi Qingtang's eyes. Chapter 2535. The woman in green's deal was a little too ridiculous. She wanted her heart? She might as well have said that she wanted her life. "Yi Qingtang, your heart is an unlucky item. With your intelligence and strength, you are unable to control it at all. It will only bring you a fatal calamity. Therefore, my deal is that I can remove all the bad luck contained in your heart," the lady in green explained. Yi Qingtang did not find it strange that this woman in green could see through the mysteries of her heart. After all, she was the reincarnation of a true god. Although she was not a true god now, she had been one in her previous life. "You can see through my heart," Yi Qingtang frowned. The lady in green gave a small smile. "I can't see through your heart, but I can extract all the bad luck in your heart from your body. In this way, your heart will become an ordinary heart. From then on, you won't have any more worries. Your true potential won't be restricted by the heart any longer. Meanwhile, I might have to endure the bad luck for you too. This deal is very worth it for you, isn't it?" Yi Qingtang understood her logic. However, why would the lady in green be so kind-hearted? Even if this woman could really suck away the misfortune of the heart of heavenly Tao and turn her own heart into an ordinary heart, Yi Qingtang would never make a deal with her. Yi Qingtang wanted to speak, but before she could say anything, the big yellow dog suddenly said, "All right, we understand the deal you want to make and we agree." Yi Qingtang was surprised and looked at the yellow dog in confusion. However, before Yi Qingtang had the chance to speak, the big yellow dog looked at the lady in green and continued. "However, in your current condition, are you certain that you can endure the bad luck of her heart? If you think that there's no problem, and that you won't explode and die, you can take it." The woman in green shook her head and said, "It's impossible in my current situation, but no problem. I won't make her wait too long. Soon, my strength will be enough to control the misfortune of her heart." Visit Readle.me for extra chapters. That's easy for you to say. Everyone outside should be from the Sky Vault sect, right? They probably won't let her off, the big yellow dog said. The lady in green smiled. "Not exactly. Because of you, many major powers in the mixed heavens holy domain were alerted. Many of them are just trying to probe into the appearance of the new immortal emperor level being. But they don't know that this immortal emperor needs to accumulate its powers over a long time to launch just one single attack. If they knew, don't you think they would just kill you all? It would prevent future troubles." The big yellow dog nodded and said, "You have already comprehended the restrictions of the natural laws at such a young age. You actually know so much. Not bad, not bad. All right, there's no need to say such flattering words. Remember, you must not admit that the immortal emperor's power is yours. Don't die before our deal is completed." After saying that, the woman in green turned and left. After the lady in green left, Yi Qingtang looked at the big yellow dog. Do you think she would be so kind-hearted? 1. Chapter 2536. What do you mean by kind-hearted? In this world, one only looks for what benefits oneself. The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. It's impossible for me to make such a deal with her. This woman is not a good person. She must be plotting something, Yi Qingtang said a moment later. Of course there's a ploy behind it. However, it's not a bad thing for you. From a certain perspective, you will also be a beneficiary of this deal. The big yellow dog pondered for a moment before explaining to Yi Qingtang. What do you know? Just say it clearly, Yi Qingtang said. Just now she said that your heart has bad luck. That's indeed the case. But this bad luck is only directed at yourself. Your heart is filled with an extremely thick heavenly Tao energy. She wants to completely absorb the heavenly Tao energy, the big yellow dog said. I see. Yi Qingtang was deep in thought. It was true that she had wondered why the woman in green was so kind-hearted. It turned out that the heart of heavenly Tao contained a large amount of heavenly Tao energy. If the woman absorbed all the heavenly Tao energy, it would be difficult to determine how far she would grow. To you, it's actually very worth it. That woman would obtain the power of the heavenly Tao, while you can eliminate your bad luck. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang fell into deep thought. What the big yellow dog said did make sense, but Yi Qingtang was unwilling to give up all the heavenly Tao energy in her heart just like that, even if it was very beneficial for her. Then, is it possible that I can absorb all the heavenly Tao energy in my heart myself? Yi Qingtang's eyes flickered. If she could absorb the power within her heart of the heavenly Tao, not only would she be able to eliminate her bad luck, she would also be able to obtain all the power of the heavenly Tao. Well, the big yellow dog glanced at Yi Qingtang. Little girl, you're really greedy. You have the usual characteristics of a human. Hearing this, Yi Qingtang was rather displeased and sneered. This is something that already belongs to me from the start. How is that being greedy? The yellow dog was speechless. It was unable to retort. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Logically speaking, it doesn't make sense for you to absorb your own power. However, your heart is rather special. It might be possible, but I'm not sure how to activate the process. I'm not a human, and have never studied you humans before, the yellow dog said. For now, Yi Qingtang decided to stall the lady in green first. If she really did not have a solution by then, and the heart of heavenly Tao was seriously threatening her, perhaps she could consider it. But for now, she should try to see if she could find a way to absorb the power of the heavenly Tao herself. Holy Lady, just as Yi Qingtang was deep in thought, the Blood Moon Elder rushed over from outside with a panicked expression and stared at Yi Qingtang. Holy Lady, there seem to be many powerful figures around this relay station. Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Wasn't this too belated? By the time he realized it, he would have probably died more than 800 times. Outside the relay station, my lord, we can already confirm that existence with the ability of an immortal emperor is inside the relay station. It's just that the immortal emperor aura dispelled a long time ago. Furthermore, there were some recent natural law distortions nearby. A white-haired elder seemed to be in deep thought as he said, natural law distortions. Could it be that he failed to break through to the immortal emperor level? If that's the case, he should be very weak now. There is no need for strange immortal emperors to exist in the mixed heavens holy domain. Chapter 2537. The instruction given to him by the evil deity Patriarch was that if a peak immortal emperor existed, everything would be fine. However, if it was a newly ascended immortal emperor, he should be eliminated once he was seriously injured from undergoing the tribulation. According to the natural laws of this place, it was very likely that he would fail in his attempt to break through to the immortal emperor level. He would definitely be extremely weak now, and this was the best opportunity to kill an immortal emperor. Everyone come out. I believe we all have the same motive for coming here, the white-haired old man said. As the white-haired old man finished speaking, batch after batch of elite practitioners from the mixed heavens holy domain walked out from the shadows. So it's Elder Long of the Dragon Emperor clan. Nice to meet you. At that moment, A white-robed youth holding a golden feathered fan walked out from the shadows with a gentle smile. He clasped his fists and smiled at the white-haired old man. Sky Vault Sect's first prince. The white-haired elder glanced indifferently at the youth holding the golden feathered fan. I didn't expect Elder Long to remember a junior like me. I'm truly flattered. The white-robed youth nodded slightly. It's lively today. On the other side, a woman in a red dress walked out from the darkness. She had a flushed face and an alluring appearance. Devil Cloud Sect? Many practitioners were surprised to see the woman. It was rumored that the Devil Cloud Sect came from the third domain and had migrated to the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain overnight. The Devil Cloud Sect Paragon was an elite practitioner who had once been sworn enemies with the Temple of Paragon. After that, for some unknown reason, the Devil Cloud Sect Paragon died in the Wailing Well. Recently, there was news that the Devil Cloud Sect Paragon had already been resurrected. As for whether it was true or false, no one knew. After Devil Cloud Sect Paragon died, the red dress woman became the one in charge. The Devil Cloud Sect has already fallen eons ago. Why have they risen from the ashes now? A six-winged fire phoenix flapped its wings up in the sky. Elder Bai stood on its back and stared at the red dress woman. Apart from Elder Bai, there was also a man wearing a silver fox mask standing with his hands behind his back. What's going on today? It's really lively. Even the protectors and elders of the Temple of Paragon have been mobilized. The red dress woman smiled gently. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. The Temple of Paragon. The white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan glanced at the Temple of Paragon indifferently. It was common knowledge that the relationship between the Dragon Emperor clan and the Temple of Paragon had never been harmonious in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. The Temple of Paragon had a paragon overseeing it, while the Dragon Emperor clan had an evil deity overseeing it. I say Temple of Paragon. The Dragon Emperor clan is even more vicious than our Devil Cloud sect, right? That's a truly great evil sect in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. Could it be that your Temple of Paragon isn't interested in eradicating this evil sect? To clash with the Dragon Emperor clan? The red dress woman chuckled. Her appearance was extremely alluring, and her words were filled with a bewitching divine power. The first prince of the Sky Vault sect smiled and waved his golden fan. He then glanced at the elder of the Dragon Emperor clan. Just as the woman in red had said, the Dragon Emperor clan had once been an evil sect despised by the entire Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. The clan was besieged by many powerful factions, but the factions ended up suffering heavy losses after several attack attempts. In the end, they could only leave the matter at that. A moment later, the white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan glanced at the red-dressed lady and asked, "When did the Demon Cloud sect learn to sow discord?" The white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan did not have a good impression of the Demon Cloud sect. Chapter 2538. Look at what you're saying. The Devil Cloud sect always had a knack for sow discording, right? Besides, with the nasty relationship between the Dragon Emperor clan and the Temple of Paragon, I'm afraid there's no need for anyone to sow discord. The red dress woman looked at the white-haired elder and chuckled softly. Devil Cloud sect, I heard that your paragon was resurrected. I wonder if it's true. On the six-winged fire phoenix, the Temple of Paragon practitioner with a silver fox mask spoke softly, his hands behind his back. The corners of the woman's lips curled up slightly. Is there a need to ask? Of course it's true. It is my esteemed lord who asked me to come here to investigate the mystery behind the appearance of this immortal emperor. Elder Bai frowned slightly. Had the Devil Cloud sect paragon really been resurrected? Was the red dress woman speaking the truth? It was common knowledge that the Devil Cloud sect and the Temple of Paragon had always been archenemies. The two powers were completely different. If the Devil Cloud sect paragon had been resurrected, he would probably target the Temple of Paragon. Although the Temple of Paragon was not necessarily afraid of the Devil Cloud sect paragon, the fact was that there was still no news of their own paragon. I say, people from the Temple of Paragon, it's better for you to return to your temple first. Tell your own paragon to get ready and wait. I believe that our paragon will be giving a huge surprise soon. The red-dress woman smiled at the silver fox man, an elder by on the phoenix. How dare you? Elder by shouted coldly. You little brats dare to talk about my paragon. Do you really not know how insignificant you are? Heh, Elder by, aren't you getting a little too huffy? I was only telling the truth. How could you take my kind reminder as malicious intent? The red-dress woman's expression did not change, not showing the slightest fear. Since the Devil Cloud Paragon has been resurrected, our own Paragon will also be offering a grand gift. The Silver Fox practitioner spoke out nonchalantly. Oh, what kind of grand gift is your Paragon going to give my lord? The red-dress woman's face was filled with curiosity. Your head, said the Silver Fox man. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. The smile on the woman in red's face faded. Is that so? In the next second, the Silver Fox practitioner formed a seal with one hand. The void distorted and everyone from the Devil Cloud sect, including the red-dress woman, was sucked into the distorted space. Even the six-wing fire phoenix, elder and the Silver Fox practitioner disappeared. Profound void. The first prince of the Sky Vault sect smiled and looked at the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan. Elder, the people from the Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect have all entered an alternate space. I wonder if we need to interfere. After all, our motive for this trip is that mysterious immortal emperor. The white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan replied expressionlessly. The grudge between the Devil Cloud sect and the Temple of Paragon has nothing to do with my Dragon Emperor clan. I agree. In that case, let's see if that mysterious immortal emperor is here or not. The Sky Vault sect's first prince glanced at his men, while the white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan also waved his hand. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.